Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and this is the coverage of course, the biggest game in world football right now. That is Serbia versus goddamn Brazil. The teams are walking out. This is a massive game. The winner of this game will go through to the knockout stages of the World Cup. If you didn't miss it before, Germany, they're out. They're packing their bags home from Russia. Absolutely flopped in the tournament. South Korea beating them 2-0 today. 2-0. Unbelievable. Of course, make sure to like the stream and subscribe if you're new to me, Statman Dave, and get into those comments throughout the game so I can interact with you guys and chat about the football, everything, the world, sandwiches, and of course the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that is coffee. Team lineups, you say? You want to know the team lineup, so let's do that straight away. Okay, so Serbia, first up, playing a 4-2-3-1. What I like with this lineup, though, is that Tadic is at number 10. The big thing for me with Milinkovic-Savic is he's used to playing with a very creative player next to him in that sort of number 10 area. Of course, at Lazio, it's Luis Alberto. Luis Alberto is an incredible technical player, of course, ex-Liverpool. But in Serie A this season, he got 14 assists. And the relationship there was Milinkovic-Savic was played as sort of a goal-scoring midfielder, a second striker. And, Luis Alberto would get on the ball and create and stuff. And without him so far at the World Cup, Milinkovic-Savic has looked a little bit isolated in that area. So this, for me, is a fantastic team lineup from the Serbian manager. I think it will maybe look a little bit more like a 4-3-3. I think you'll see Matic holding a midfield in his own and Milinkovic-Savic looking to join Tadic in that attacking midfield area, of course supporting the likes of Mitrovic, Tadic on one wing and Krstajić on the other wing. Of course, Kolorov's going to be vitally important in getting forward. Scored an absolute banger of a free kick for Serbia. But let's move on to, of course, the big stuff, the stuff that we want to see, which is the Brazilian team. The Brazilian team is looking very, 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 very tasty at the moment. Of course, Alisson in goal, Fagner, who's come in for Danilo, Thiago Silva, Miranda, Marcelo, Paulinho, Casemiro, Coutinho, Willian, Gabriel Jesus, and, of course, Neymar. Big tournament for Neymar. Of course, he hasn't really blown up yet. For me, he's been a little bit too greedy on the ball and needs to go back to his Barcelona days. A bit more passing and moving from Neymar. He doesn't need to do everything. What do you think in the comments, guys? Who's been Brazil's best player for me? It's been Philippe Coutinho. Having a wonderful tournament. 2 goals and 2 very, very good goals. Of course, the first one in the 91st minute in the last game. And he's just looked like very, very sort of, he's playing well in this situation. I, of course, got the Brazil shirt on today, but I will be supporting nobody. I'm going to be supporting football today, guys. You want to support football, I want to support football, so let's do that. I want to see some good football from Milinkovic-Savic and everyone like that. Of course, guys, like that goddamn stream. Let's get up to 100 likes straight away. Firmino should start. Robert Firmino should be starting. 2 comments instantly coming into the YouTube chat. I completely agree with you guys. What is he doing? What is Tite doing? Absolutely crazy. Gabriel Jesus in the tournament so far has been very, 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 very poor. Not added anything in the final third, not added anything in the defensive element, and you've watched Firmino for Liverpool this season. He has been absolutely fantastic. Not only is he pressing from the front and starting the press for Jurgen Klopp's side, but he's creating, getting assists, getting goals in really big competitions. Look at the Champions League, probably the best player in that tournament. So maybe he'll make a big impact from the bench. Gabriel Jesus hasn't performed to keep his position. I completely agree with that. Firmino has done well. Firmino is a baller. Thoughts on Fellaini staying? We'll talk about that a little bit later on. The smaller nations have gotten so much better. The World Cup will be actually competitive ones. Yeah, it's nice. Got some support for the Serbs in the comments from Christopher Young. I love this game coming in, lads. I've been waiting 6 hours, mate. Yeah, I was chatting to Christopher Young 6 hours ago and he was ready to go. So guys, let's get this party started. We've been talking all the good stuff. Keep getting your comments in, subscribe if you're new, and all that jazz. Let's have a little sip of water before we move on to the main event. In terms of the results of today, again, we've seen some big results. Korea beating Germany, Sweden beating Mexico. So into the next round go, of course, Mexico and Sweden. Sweden top, Mexico second. I actually updated my wall chart. And it goes as the following. So, of course, Mexico are likely to play Brazil if they qualify first, and Sweden to play Switzerland in St. Petersburg, which would be really interesting. It's really opened up the tournament with Germany going out, but again, it's quite sad. I really don't want to see that. It was almost like yesterday with Argentina, how I kind of wanted Nigeria to win because they were such a fun team, a young team. You want to support those guys. They played some nice football, really good, solid defensive stuff. But deep down, I kind of wanted Messi to get as far as he can in the tournament. You always want the big teams there for the most excitement. Remember that game last season? The last World Cup, 7-1, unbelievable scenes. But of course, Germany are now out. It's now to the term of Brazil and Neymar to really sort of open up his teams. In terms of what I want to see from Neymar, maybe, is being a little bit more, moving off the ball, allowing Coutinho to maybe push to the left wing and Neymar coming inside, as well, opening up space for Marcelo on the overlap. The sort of link-up play hasn't been as good yet, I don't think, from Brazil. I think they are very left-sided and there's no option on the right. I think that's why Tite's gone with Fagner over Danilo. Danilo's not great at going forward, and I think Fagner may have that sort of attacking instinct. Of course, Brazil losing Dani Alves to injury pre-tournament. That's why he's not there, guys. But keep getting the comments in. I'll be looking at them right this second. Germany slumped to last. I hope there's no repeat of last time that happened. Could be a big issue. Finally, Savic is playing as a box-to-box like he does for Lazio. For Lazio, he plays as like kind of a central midfielder in a 3 sometimes, but also plays in as like if they could switch to their system to a 3-4-2-1 as one of the attacking midfielders, usually on the left-hand side. Game against Juve this season where he was so dominant and so good. And we'll be doing a bit more on Milinkovic-Savic at half-time, so stay tuned to that VT. But again, if you've missed the team lineups for, of course, Serbia, the big sort of calls in a way is Ljajic coming in. Ljajic coming in at number 10. Ljajic used to be on the books at Manchester United at one point, had a trial there that extended for a few months, didn't quite make it, went back over to Italy, has appeared for both Fiorentina, now at Torino. Every time I watch Torino, especially because of Belotti there, watched quite a bit of Torino, and Ljajic was always a guy making things happen, so could cause some problems for Casemiro, but that's going to be a great battle. Milinkovic-Savic and of course Ljajic versus Casemiro and Paulinho on that sort of right hand side. That's going to be where the game is won and lost. Dave, I love Kroos, but could we end the Modric-Kroos debate? No, we can't do it, unfortunately, buddy. We're going to keep that going, because Kroos, he got eliminated, but God, did he try it. No, he was controlling the game, he was creating chances, he was doing everything. Today completed more dribbles than any other player. Feel so sorry for Toni Kroos. They were just not good enough overall, Germany. We are moments away from kickoff, guys. It's a big game, this one. Serbia versus Brazil. Of course, keep liking the video, sharing it on social media as well, telling all your pals about it, telling all the guys that this is the biggest game that's going to be in the rest of the tournament. This is going to be one of the big ones. This is kind of like a knockout game, so very, very exciting stuff. Of course, we will be back on Saturday as well for the Argentina versus France game. That is going to be one hell of a game. France on the counter-attack, who've looked very poor on the Didier Deschamps. Of course, if you joined my live stream yesterday, you would have suffered for around 90 minutes like I did, watching an absolute terrible game of football. Let's hope that today is a bit better, but it is kind of looking a little bit like Serbia maybe going for a 3-man midfield. Maybe, yeah, it looks kind of 3-man midfield, 2 central players there, Milinkovic-Savic and Ljajic quite high here, dropping back to a sort of a 4-5-1, the two sort of wide players dropping a little bit deep. But it's going to be a big battle for forgotten, I've just butchered this dude's name, Rubuvica. No, how do you say the right back's name? We're all gone, but the right back's going to have a big game up against Neymar. Rakitic, that's maybe it. I probably killed it again, but guys, Neymar is going to be on him like an absolute rash today. Interesting though, Serbia going for a sort of, they're going to be dropping back. Tadic very much supporting his fullback, same with Krstajić. So that's going to be where the game could be won and lost, in those wide areas, especially on the left wing for Barcelona for Brazil, and of course the right wing for Serbia. But again, I kind of expect it to be fiery and intense from what I've seen of Serbia so far. They really try and get him break quickly. They try and break quickly with Tadic and Milinkovic-Savic linking the play. Mitrovic probably should have scored a hat-trick in the opening game. Missed some good chances. Rukavina, is it? Rukavina? Yeah, let's call him that. Anyway, back to the game, guys. Back to the football. The enjoyable stuff. Got Serbia recycling it deep in midfield from the great Nemanja Matic. What a servant he's been for Serbia. Chelsea and Manchester United in his short United careers look very, very good, especially in the first half of the season. Of course, Serbia maybe looking to shape this press. Brazil kind of high pressing like they have done under Tite. That's kind of the difference with this Brazilian team, is they've got quite a lot of work in the team now. The likes of Paulinho in there, but we've got Neymar in between the lines here. What can he do? Round one guy, can he get a shot away? Edge of the area, blocked by his own teammate, still bouncing around edge there. Serbia can't clear it, it's offside. Good attack from Brazil there, actually. Moving into that sort of attacking mid-area, I think it was actually Coutinho with the final shot, but Neymar breaking into some very, very good space and driving at the Serbian defence. That's some good stuff. That's what I wanted to see from Neymar. If we flip back to the tactics, if you consider what I want to see, instead of it being this 4-3-3, I'd like to see it narrow, and Neymar almost play as a second striker, as a number 10. Whenever he's played for Brazil, and I've enjoyed his performances, especially the last World Cup before his injury, was sort of he was playing that position. Maybe it was sort of looked a little bit like a 4-2-3-1, the shape. And I kind of like him centrally for Brazil. For Barcelona, he was better out left mid because of the movement of both Messi to come inside and Suarez to occupy that position. He had to stay a lot wider. But for this Brazil team, I'd like him to stay a lot narrower in a way and look to combine. But that was a good start from Neymar. There's a lot of pressure on him, of course, for Brazil. But I think the Serbians are going to break this game up. Absolutely going to be committing fouls all over the place. Got some comments coming in, enjoying the live streams. Where's the comment? I've lost the comments, guys. Lost the comments. We'll get back to those very shortly. There we have Kolarov getting his hand in the face of Willian. Big beef there, guys. Big beef. Marty, can we tweet the stream out once again? Get some more hype on that goddamn stream. Douglas Costa is injured. Costa's injured. The mic is extremely hot, Dave. Could we turn down the mic, possibly? Guys, Will? Do you reckon we could turn down the mic a little bit? Have we done it? Yeah? Perfect. Cheers, guys. That's the production that we want at Studio 68. Chance for Brazil. Looks like Gabriel Jesus is in behind. Keeper comes out. Well saved. Smothered again. And Neymar has just missed a tap-in. Hopefully he was offside. That was a big chance there. WTF Brazil. Good play, though. Good movement off the ball there. It's massively miles offside. The liner's not kept his... He kept his flag down there. That would have been ruled out on VAR, by the way, you know, if he'd scored that. No, he flags so late. He flags basically when he has the shot. What is he doing there? Jesus is a brick. Oh my God. More vlogs and Rash Kid, absolutely, don't know what that's about. Firmino is Jesus for Brazil tonight. Yep, 100%. Cheers, Dave. Big fan. Thank you very much. Bad refereeing. Waited 7 seconds before raising the flag. Yeah, unbelievably poor refereeing. So offside. It's been a lot of fouls coming in this game already. Scrappy, to say the least. I'll also keep you updated on the other game in the group, of course, Switzerland versus Costa Rica. Of course, Switzerland pretty much through to the next round, so it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of line up and approach that game, because it could be slightly different. I've been too impressed by Switzerland. They're quite a hot and cold side, especially with the likes of Shaqiri in there. But you don't know which Shaqiri is going to sort of turn up. Is it going to be the Shaqiri that dominates teams, that scores hat-tricks at the World Cup, or is it going to be the Shaqiri that can't be bothered at Stoke City? Again, available for £12 million, I do believe. As a manager, I wouldn't be picking him up at all. But this is a big game, guys. Big game. Keep getting your comments in, guys. Keep getting your likes, all that good stuff. Oh my God, Firmino in the place of Jesus. Who should Real sign to replace Luka Modric? Well, that's going to be a big job. At the moment, if I was Real Madrid, I'd be looking to keep Modric for a number of more seasons. I think as a playmaker, he's absolutely in the peak of his powers right now. I'd keep Kovacic as well. Of course, Kovacic wanting to leave Real Madrid, coming out and saying that in the last few weeks. But he could be a natural replacement. He's very agile, decent passing range. The ball, I think it was Marcelo in the game against Bayern Munich. Fantastic cracking pass out for the Benzema goal, and that's what I like with Kovacic. He's really improved over the last few seasons, and big shout out to players that improve. Got to give him credit for that work in the training ground. Like the likes of Scott McTominay. What an absolute player. Scrappy though. Serbia winning the ball in the Brazilian half, down the right hand side. Bit of skills, still got the ball. Looking to cut in, it's Dusan Tadic, nutmegs, Brazilian defender coming over. I think that is Casemiro, the main man. No, it was Paulinho, doing some good defensive work. Again, why Paulinho's in this midfield is to do that sort of thing. You've got Coutinho's flair, Casemiro's, aggression. Paulinho's sort of your box-to-box guy. Again, the reason why his career really kicked off back was kind of his performances for Brazil, and that's why Barcelona went to get him, because he just looks so good. Of course, applying his trade in China, but still performing at a really high level for Brazil. Again, guys, you want to link your stream up to my stream. I'm on 6 minutes and 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. That's exactly what you guys want to be doing. Cut your commentary out and listen to me waxing lyrical about football. We have Serbia in again. Dusan Tadic up against Marcelo. Coming into that stronger left foot, overlap from the fullback, number 2, inside, cuts the ball back, and Brazil defend at the near post. Tadic to deliver again, looking to hang it up for, I think it's Milinkovic-Savic at the back post. Decent defending from Miranda, and headed out by Willian. Oh, it's a foul, actually. Mitrovic has really barrel-chested out, hasn't he? Seems to have, his days in the Championship have hardened him up. Really good for Fulham. Scored I think it's 12 goals in hardly any games. Committing a foul on Thiago Silva in the box, but he looks like a more confident player playing at the moment. That's what you want to see. I remember watching him for Anderlecht against Arsenal. I think that Anderlecht were 3-0 down, and they brought him on at the Emirates, and they ended up drawing it 3-3. Ori Tillsman also played that day. He was fantastic. But Mitrovic made a big impact, guys. Dave, how do you see Tite's way of almost naming every game a new captain? It's interesting. It is really interesting. It's one of those things where I'm not massively convinced on it. I think that you want your captain to be your captain. I think, you know, the good sort of sides in the world always have a leader that is the leader, but you can move that around. It's just, do they lack a leader maybe? You know, you're seeing the likes of Thiago Silva over the last few seasons being the guy. You've seen Neymar being there. I'm not convinced by this Brazilian team. It reminds me a lot of PSG because of obviously the PSG influence and how PSG bottle it consistently in the Champions League. Real Madrid, Barcelona, whoever they play against, they just seem to lose their cool. And that's going to be a big thing for Thomas Tuchel, is to update their actual mentality, sort their mentality out, make them believe that they can win the game. He's got a stoppage in play at the moment. Marcelo chatting. Is he injured? The referee taking him off the pitch because he received some treatment. Not good stuff there, guys. Why are your streams a little bit behind? Because I'm streaming the game through ITV and their streams are absolutely rubbish. Come on, sort that one out. Savic should be on the box more this game to get the header off. Yeah, completely agree. That's one of his big strengths. Marcelo looks lost. Maybe I think he's banged his head, and I think that's why the referee may be shuttling him out there. Maybe let's have a look at the subs bench to see if Marcelo goes off. He's coming off, yeah, and Felipe Luis is coming on. Not good news for Brazil, that, because of course Marcelo, such a key player, but he looks very, very dazed. Not good news, that, at all. Again, though, Tite really, at the start of his tenure, was going with Felipe Luis over Marcelo. Again, the other options, no, he's probably the only option. Marquinhos maybe, and shuttling that around. But yeah, the only real option. Neymar in between the lines here, getting the ball out to Coutinho, who's pulled left. That's what I want to see a lot of. I want to see a lot of this. Coutinho left, and Neymar nice in the middle, looking to get those shots away. Coming inside on that right foot, because again, he's been a real threat from danger when Brazil look quite poor on the ball in certain situations. Marcelo looks gone, though. Absolutely gone. Sad. Very, very sad stuff. Again, like if we go back to the last game for Brazil, one of their sort of, you know, better players, you'd say. Again, Brazil really performing poorly against Costa Rica, having to wait till some late goals. But again, if you look at his, you know, what he was doing with his passing and so forth, completed more passes than any other player on the pitch. He looked completely gone. Good though, I like that, because of course head injuries are big in sport in terms of, you know, it's dangerous. If you get concussed and you get a head bang again, there's potential for you to die. So good change like that. But again, Marcelo's so important to how Brazil attack, how Real Madrid attack, and it's going to be a bit of a problem again for Brazil in that creative sense. Felipe Luis will be slightly different. I think he'll sit a little bit deeper and he'll look to you know, play a little bit more conservatively. Is an outlet for Atletico Madrid. He is good at getting forward, but I think what that will allow is the Coutinho-Neymar relationship to work a bit better, where they can both work in and work out. Neymar looking for a through ball there for Gabriel Jesus. Easy gathered by the Serbian goalkeeper. Poor ball that was from Neymar. I want to see more from Gabriel Jesus as well. At the moment, he's been so poor in the tournament. I just don't think he's got going. It just feels like he came into the tournament, the last few games for Manchester City, just not really fancying it and looked like he's a bit off the pace, and I think that's continued at the World Cup. Not a good mentality, that. Mitrovic winning a long ball for Serbia, cleared by Wagner, headed back. A little bit of tennis here. Brazil recover it in midfield. Coutinho in between the lines here. Ball out to Neymar. Coutinho, get on that overlap, lad. You're going to have to provide that support. Neymar doing some skills, looking to come inside Tadic. Frozen, stops the play. What are you doing, lad? Again, this is the problem with Neymar. He stops the play a lot, and it's one of those things where he didn't quite do that at Barcelona. He'd be getting it and giving it. He wouldn't be sort of dilly-dallying and waiting on the ball. Serbia doing some good defending. Krstajić with the counter-attack. The Stuttgart winger fouled. Free kick, Serbia. Dangerous, that. You've seen what Kolarov can do in his delivery. Very, very good. And you think of the big lads they've got in the box. Jajic looking interested as well, but some good play from Krstajić. Nice little... You know, he's a very technically gifted player, very good with the ball at his feet, from what I've seen. The foul coming in from Wagner, Marcelo sort of doubling up on him, but big chances for the delivery. Marcelo looks done. Is it his leg? He looks like a bit groggy, and he's also not walking too fresh. He looks like he's a little bit injured. Sad news, Marcelo. Love Marcelo. What a hero. Let's get back to the stats for the game that we want to talk about. 10 minutes gone, 11 minutes gone. Deep ball into the penalty area. Alisson with the punch. Alisson is just he's impressed me massively this season with his goalkeeping. A very good goalkeeper. Sort of come out of that, Roma squad as the real shining light in there. Some really good performances in the Champions League, especially, even though conceded 8 goals or whatever it was against Liverpool, so many goals, still was absolutely quality. Made some really good saves, and that's why he's been linked with Real Madrid and, of course, Liverpool Football Club as their search to replace Karius. Again, Karius, concussion, Champions League final. Sad times. Luis is a great player. Luis is solid. Luis is good. I think Luis is better defensively than Marcelo. I think he's better at winning tackles, especially higher up the pitch. So I think it'll be an interesting tactical thing. But I think it's all about Coutinho moving into that wide area. Low, stupidly overconfident. God, that was so bad, wasn't it? Why was Luis picked ahead of Sandro for the squad? That's a question coming in from James MUFC. I think Tite just likes him. I think it's a personality thing with Alexandro, and I think he just prefers Luis, his personality. Again, a player that plays under Diego Simeone. Tite is one of those managers that likes that passion side of football. You think in his midfield of sometimes Casemiro, Fernandinho and Paulinho, a lot of work there. But we have Filipe Luis playing the ball inside, good ball into the feet of Gabriel Jesus, and that is a terrible first touch. That's what you're going to get from Gabriel Jesus sometimes. The strength of Firmino is receiving it to feet and getting the ball to feet, and then obviously linking with Mo Salah or linking with Sadio Mane, and that's what you're not going to get, and what you would get exactly with Roberto Firmino's. It's a really interesting one. Really interesting one, of course. In what he's going to be doing against Costa Rica, completed 91% of his passes, 3 out of 3 passes completed in the penalty area, and 6 out of 7 in the final third. And that's what you get from it. It's the link between that ball into feet and then controlling it, playing with the likes of Neymar and stuff. And you've seen what Mo Salah's done this season, and you've got to give Firmino a lot of credit for that. A lot of the assists. I think he was the top combination of assist to goal scorer in the Champions League this season was Firmino to Mo Salah. And I think you've got to play on those strengths. But here we have a Serbian corner. Krstajić winning it off Thiago Silva. Big problems this could be for Brazil. They haven't got much height in their side. They haven't got that much aggression. Again, Filipe Luis was going to help that. A semi-decent substitution for them. Someone just said something rather funny about Matic rifling my wife. I'm not going to read that one out completely, but you guys should get into the comments and read that one. It's a great comment. Poor set piece from Serbia, looking to move it back out wide to the left wing. Nothing coming again. They're going to rotate it back through midfield. Jesus is massively underrated. I think he's rated. I think he's at his level at the moment. Needs to improve. Ellis Horton, would you take Godin at Manchester United? You absolutely take him at Man United. I think he's one of the best centre-backs, 3rd best in the world. Apparently there's a 18 million release, is it? 18 million release for his contract. I would pay that tomorrow if I had 18 million pounds for Manchester United, but unfortunately I don't. But that's what I would definitely do. KBMCFC. What do you think about Werner now? I think that he was underutilised. I think that what we saw in that second half against Sweden is how you want to use Timo Werner in the current German setup. Again, starting him as a central striker was so stupid today. And again, he was drifting a lot, and the likes of Goretzka and was taking up that central position. But it worked well when Gomez was up front and Werner was on the left wing. We didn't quite see that. I also wanted to see Muller through the middle at the start of the game. Joachim Low deserves to be let go as German manager. I don't think they'll renew his contract. Here we have Willian bursting down the right wing and just smashing across into nowhere again. Interesting stuff. It's coming home, Dave. It is coming home, guys. Football is coming home. Great stuff there. If Firmino leaves Liverpool, my brainstem will snap. Maybe a Liverpool fan there coming down there. Why did Khedira and Ozil start? Surely Lowe knew that they would be playing on the counter and have great pace. I think the big thing with that was I wasn't too, in a way, angry with the Khedira performance. I thought Khedira was a lot better than he was in that first game. I thought as soon as Khedira came off, they completely lost control of that central defensive midfield area. But Khedira actually defended quite well. I think he was sitting a little bit deeper than we saw in previous games. Again, in the first half, I think he won more tackles than any other player on the pitch. Again, 4 tackles. These are in defensive areas. He's working out wide on that left-hand side, winning tackles in the left-back area, on the right-hand side of the pitch, in the right-back area. I thought actually Khedira was quite good, and I thought Joachim Low taking him off was very stupid because they lost that control completely. In terms of Mesut Ozil, God knows why he moved into defensive midfield again. That was absolutely mad. Let's just have a quick look at when he moved there. I do believe it was one of the substitutions was made. So when Khedira came off, so around the sort of the 63rd minute, we're saying. So if you have a look at his pass map, that's kind of when he moved to that deeper position. It was just poor. Again, it's just very, very poor from Joachim Low. So probably from this area, it's still very, very square. And again, the best ball he put into the box, it was a fantastic ball. One of his crosses was so good, but it was from that wide area. The one on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, sorry. Make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see. On the right-hand side, it was a brilliant ball into Mats Hummels. Created that brilliant chance. But that was when he was playing on the right wing, when he drifted right. And again, it was so stupid. Whenever Arsenal chase games, they usually chuck Mesut Ozil out on the right wing. And he has a really good relationship whipping those balls in. We currently have Brazil nearly through Paulinho rushing. Decent play from Gabriel Jesus, we've got to say that. That was some good hold-up play, a lot better. First touch, very good. Look for the through ball, slightly overhit, but better play from Gabriel Jesus. Back to Mesut Ozil, though, for Arsenal, when they are looking to chase games, they usually sling on, well, they used to sling on Giroud, and they'd throw Sanchez up front. Ozil will go to the right wing, and he just cut in onto the sort of, from that right wing, come onto that left foot, and do like the Ashley Young inverted cross, coming onto your stronger foot and whipping it in. And that was a great ball, but Joachim Low didn't use that. Imagine, guys, right, Mesut Ozil on the right wing and then Kimmich overlapping. You've got two players there that can cross. Then you actually have a strategy. Why Croatia have been so good so far in the World Cup, of course, is because they have a strategy, attacking and defending. They get the ball wide, they look to cross, they look to create from those wide areas, look for the fullbacks to overlap. They're looking to hit Mario Mandzukic, or alternatively, they're looking to get shots from outside the box or make late runs from midfield, and again, getting on crosses. We see the goal yesterday. One of them being that, the other one being a counter-attack, and they've got it down. Germany had no plan. They didn't have a plan of being like, all right, let's go down the right side and overload it with Ozil and Kimmich. It was just Kimmich by himself, or just Jonas Hector on one side. And it's kind of such a broken attacking philosophy, and again, so frustrating, guys, so frustrating. Ozil peaked early. Hasn't been the same since the Real Madrid days yet. Correct. Ozil was so good with Ronaldo under Mourinho, so good. One of the best 10s in world football, and I think with a lot of 10s like Javier Pastore is another good example of that. Suited to play on the counter-attack. Here we go, Brazil right-hand side, Gabriel Jesus, low ball into the box, defended by Serbian Kolarov. Defensive header there, good stuff. Good question coming in from FFL Productions. Rashford or Jesus? Get into the comments, guys. For me, Marcus Rashford, 100% of the time. I like him as a player, as a footballer. I think more tactically diverse than Gabriel Jesus. Better when he's playing on the wings. I think, he's got a bit more talent to him, and again, a younger player. Remember that, a younger player. But guys, get into the comments. Who's going to be better? Who is going to be better? Rashford greater than Jesus coming in. Who do I think's better? Coutinho or Eriksen? I'd say at the moment, Eriksen. I think Coutinho may have a greater ceiling. Love Christian Eriksen, wonderful player. Is James the best 10 in Europe? I think James is playing a bit deeper. I wouldn't say he's the best number 10 because he's just played a bit deeper this season, but he's a fantastic footballer, brilliant techniques and stuff. We have Nemanja Matic messing around in defensive midfield. I think Milinkovic-Savic wins the ball back, punted long up. Mitrovic looking to get up there. Physical side, Serbia. Quite direct in how they play. Get Fagner here, right hand side, long ball up to Willian. It's the frustrating thing of some of these sides. Some of the big teams in the World Cup, they just don't have a plan, and you see that from Brazil. That was a punt from fullback up the pitch, up the wing. Just terrible punt. Why are you not playing it through midfield in that situation? God knows. Rashford all day, Rashford all the way. Cheers, guys. That just absolutely works so well. Just had a shout from one of my analysts working live at the moment. Yajic picking up Casemiro in possession could be quite interesting. There was a video going around on the internet about William Carvalho's performance against Iran, where first 12 minutes of the game he was completely dictating the play. And we could look at some stats for this. Let's get the stats out. Which day was that? I tried to delete that game from my memory because it was absolutely atrocious. There we go. Here we go. First 12 minutes of the game. It's corner first. Corner from Serbia. Right hand side. Punch out by Alisson. Alisson, decent punching. I think as goalkeepers, you either make that decision. I'm going to go for catch or I'm going to go for a punch. But make that decision. And so far, we've seen some good punches from Alisson in this game. Ball inside. Serbia. Nemanja Matic, edge area. It's going to be slung in by the right back. Poor ball in. Flicked on. Still alive. Will be cleared by Brazil. It will be cleared. So the interesting side of this man-to-man job, that analyst Marty was talking about, that maybe Jajic is doing on Casemiro, really breaks up the play. So you can see William Carvalho here, first 12 minutes of the game against Iran. And he was basically had a free roll of the pitch. Nobody was picking him up. Iran was sitting quite deep in a 4-5-1. The central midfielders weren't pressing the Portuguese midfield. They were sitting off. But what happened after that moment was that you had Carlos Queiroz change up his tactics, and it went from a situation to basically Carvalho had a man on him. It was Sardar Azmoun that was man marking him, the centre forward. He dropped deep and was sort of sitting on him. You see how, you know, the slight difference of those pass maps. You're going from a player that's like switching the play, looking like he's controlling it, completing most of his passes, to it being a bit square, a bit sort of, you know, the easy moves. And I think that's the big thing with William Carvalho if he wants to progress his career. It's when he's got a man-to-man job. How is he rolling it? Because I remember him being so good at rolling out of pressure when he was about 23, 24 before the leg break, and now it seems like he's a little bit sluggish when he's on the ball. Again, leg breaks are going to affect your career. We've seen that, of course, at Man United with Luke Shaw. But again, tactics from some really good tactics from, of course, Carlos Queiroz. Yeah, shout out, top manager. Done very well with Iran. It was sad to see them go out. They created a really good chance at the end that they probably should have scored as well. But back to the game, Brazil. Ball at the back, ball at centre back, knocking it about, doing some good stuff. Let's jump back into the YouTube comments. I don't know why this keeps... There we go, back into the YouTube comments, guys. Neymar doing something good. So he's got 7 out of 9 passes completed, 1 chance created, 4 passes completed in the final third, more than any other Brazilian player, and 3 take-ons. So it's decent start from Neymar. Want to see a little bit more getting into that central area though, guys. That's what I want to see from him. You know, combining and looking to get on the ball and so forth in the dangerous areas, not out wide here. Again, he's receiving it on the touchline, 2 guys to beat. It was almost like, it's kind of like Messi-esque in a way, where you know, you're in that situation where you're sort of, you know, you're looking to take everyone on. It's happened so many times for Messi against Nigeria yesterday, where he was squaring up 2 or 3 players, and even if he beat those 2 or 3 players, it was almost like the 3-man central midfield would, you know, congregate around Messi on the ball. He'd try and take them on. Even if he beats those 3 guys, he's got 3 guys to beat, and I think that's you know, 3 centre halves to beat after that. And that was a really interesting side from Lionel Messi. His movement, and I think for Argentina, how you want them to progress as a side is you want to get Messi actually playing as a centre forward. Like, he's dropping too deep, he's dropping into midfield. We'll do some analysis in a second though. Neymar looking to come inside, ball out wide. Brazil into the Serbian penalty area. Neymar in the box. Shots. Brilliant save by the Serbian keeper. Neymar finally getting into the penalty area. Flashes a shot across goal. Fantastic save. Some good play from Gabriel Jesus in the build-up as well in the penalty area. So I want to see from Brazil. Good football. Again, Neymar getting involved. Gabriel Jesus. Lovely footwork there. He's working hard to win it back. And Neymar, good save. May have been off target there. But some good stuff there. In terms of the Messi thing. So, of course, Messi yesterday managed to get through, but the big thing in terms of, you look at where he received the ball, a lot of it is when you're, you know, the only real ball is that he's behind the defence is the assist for the goal. If you've not seen that movement off the ball, it's unbelievable. He sort of checks inside, starts on the right wing, he like pulls inside, dummies the defender, then smashes himself back out. The first touch on his knee, second touch he kills it, and then into the penalty area and smashes it home. But that was the only ball that he's in behind the defence in the entire game. The 1 pass he received in the penalty area wide left, as you can see, will make that a little bit bigger. But the big thing here is that you want Messi in behind the defence. He's the best finisher in world football. So if he can get into the penalty area, that's where you want him. He's an unbelievable finisher. And I almost think for Argentina to hit their peak in this tournament, Sampaoli literally needs to be to Messi. Get away from the ball. Go and stand away from the ball. You know, allow even Banega. Sort of, you know, Barcelona circa 2009. Where Iniesta and Xavi would control the tempo. Messi doesn't need to be there. With the poor form of Gonzalo Higuain, I'd arguably say Dybala, Messi, go for it. That'll be so fluid. If you have one on the right, one on the left of a 4-4-2, you know, maybe tell Dybala to stay on the left so Messi can play in his natural position on the right. But again, the only ball that was played over the top, that Messi was behind the defence, was that assist, which you can see in obviously yellow. And that's the big thing for Argentina. For them to get better at the World Cup, they need to start using Messi as a striker, not as a sort of central midfielder, you know, him dropping a lot deeper. And I think that's, you know, that's that. That's that for Argentina. But they scraped through. It was weird. Again, I mentioned before, I kind of half was supporting Nigeria just because they played so much fun football in this tournament and played so well. But anyway, guys, that was the Messi analysis. Have you got any comments on that? Get it into the comments. Messi's touch is god level. Yeah, it was absolutely disgusting. Brad is saying, I see Serbia score on the counter-attack. Regan saying, good save that. Brilliant save. Really, really good stuff. And more questions coming in. Rojo saving Messi in the World Cup. Yeah, 100%. That was crazy. Have you ever seen Marcos Rojo score a right-footed volley in his career? Absolutely not. But here we have Brazil on the attack. Ball out to Neymar in a wide area. Can't control it. Poor pass from Coutinho. Poor pass. Christine, comment. What do you think about Felipe Anderson? What will he bring to West Ham? Felipe Anderson's a very good player. Very decent player in terms of what he can do on the ball. Explosive. In terms of, I think, dribbles and tackles, he's really high in terms of Serie A this season. As for Lazio, play a really nice style of football, and Felipe Anderson would switch in for Luis Alberto, be that sort of creative hub in their side. I do like him. I think he's got talent, he's got big talent, and under someone like Manuel Pellegrini, who likes interiors, players that start wide, that move into the central area, he'd be perfect for West Ham if they can get two good centre forwards. Of course, Arnautovic, you probably want him to continue up front. Felipe Anderson is pretty dangerous from range as well. Seen a few times that he's hit sort of like low daisy cutters from the edge of the area that have gone in, so that's exactly that's what you want to see right there. I'm just getting something saying William Carvalho didn't break his leg. I'm sure he broke his leg, right? Yeah, he broke his leg. He missed the season. He fractured his leg. So who's that commenting? Andre. Come on, Andre. He broke his leg, William Carvalho. Germany should have gone with Muller as a false 9, Werner on the left, Royce on the right, cutting in. Yeah, great front three. It's exactly what we were saying, wasn't it, on the Germany stream that we last did, that they need to just fix up, look sharp, and they didn't, and that was it. Game, set, match. Agreed, Messi should play as a striker. That's exactly what we want to see. Have you seen the video of Sao Paulo asking Messi if he should bring Aguero on? No, I've not seen that. That's ridiculous. Player power, come on. If you're not performing like Lionel Messi isn't performing, you've got to listen to the coach. Like, the coach is going to be seeing those things. Again, we do have Gabriel Jesus, though, clean through on goal. Left-hand side of the box. Klutz cut back on the right. Brilliant defending from Serbia on the cover. Good move, though, from Gabriel Jesus. Like to see that a bit more. I've not seen enough of strikers in this World Cup making that run in behind. Lovely time in there. Brilliant ball from Neymar. Good football from Brazil. I think that's what you might not get from Firmino in a way. You know, Firmino likes to come to the ball a little bit more. You know, the variation you're going to get with Gabriel Jesus. Coutinho, short free kick. Neymar, again, stopping the ball. What are you doing, buddy? Tempo. Coutinho, edge of the area, can't get a shot away. Great the Serbian wall in the way. Ball over the top, easy ball out of play. Do you remember before the first game on Statman Dave Live, I called the German disaster class? I was right. Yeah, you were right, James. You were absolutely right. Best opponent for England in the next round? It's a really interesting one. So with my updated wall chart, England, if they top the group, will face Colombia. If they don't top the group, they'll face Japan. After that game, they will be facing Brazil. So if they come second in the group, they'll have Japan, and then they'll have Sweden on my wall chart, because I've got Sweden beating Switzerland. So arguably, England need to throw the game tomorrow. They need to throw the game. They need to lose the game and come second in the group. Or the sneaky away, draw with Belgium, pick up more yellow cards. Maybe get someone sent off. Maybe get Phil Jones. Give Phil Jones 10 minutes. Get Phil Jones to clean someone out. Get those -5 points. Second position. That's what you want to be thinking about. Gareth, their sneaky tactics. I thought Sampaoli was highly rated. He is really highly rated. But I think it takes time to get his style of play. It's a philosophy. You've got to, believe in that philosophy. He's a Bielsa disciple. So it's one of those things where his style of football is fantastic. But if these personalities in the Argentina squad don't care about it, then you've got a real issue there. And I think the big thing, if you look about positional football and positional play, Messi is ruining positional play for them right now because he's coming into midfield. He isn't creating that option. Positional play is all about moving your opponents around with the ball and opening up those areas, those spaces in between the lines, the half spaces, to find the likes of Messi in those areas. Messi consistently kept on coming to the ball. 2 banks of 4. Same happened against Iceland. He's got to break down. It's just so frustrating watching Lionel Messi. He needs to sort himself out. Of course, the goal he scored, brilliant goal, but he ran in behind. More of that from Lionel Messi, guys. Apologies for the spam, guys. We'll be on that, shutting that down. The Swiss are winning. Ooh, news coming in. The Swiss are winning. Who scored the goal? Let's go over to a nondescript live score app, and they're 1-0 up. Costa Rica, Switzerland, top of the group. Who would have thought that? That is absolutely bonkers. I called it, I think I went Brazil, Serbia 1-2. So who knows? I don't know anything about football. What is Bielsa? Bielsa is an Argentinian football coach. The likes of Pep Guardiola, again, Sao Paulo, they all sort of stick to his style of play. He's developed this style of play where it's very much aggressive on the ball, quick passing football. But Bielsa is a coach. He currently manages Leeds United at the moment. Just joined them, so that's going to be fun. Thoughts on Darmian now that they've signed Cancelo? Yeah, it's probably going to, not be sort of brought out there. Here we have the replay of the Swiss goal. ITV just catching up. Cheers, ITV. Keep up all the hard work. Ball into the box. Knock down. Volley on the halfers. Goal time. He's got football pie all over his shirt. Brilliant commentary, right? Brilliant commentary. The drama from the fouls at this World Cup is mental. Correct, Brad. The fouls are... Seriously, you could win the World Cup on fouls if England play this right. I'm going to have to give Gareth a call later and be, look, Gareth, get the fouls out tomorrow. Physical, aggressive. Maradona is a clown now. Yes, he was a clown before. But, that is Maradona for you, unfortunately. He's destroying his image. He is 100% destroying his image. Such a wonderful player, but acting like an absolute whopper at the moment. Needs to just... Come on, Maradona. More comments coming in, guys. Keep your comments coming in and so forth before we will chat about a lot of stuff like football. I'm trying to block the spamming as quickly as I can, guys, so just trying to multitask, do that type of thing. Casemiro, ball over the top. Again, it just seems like they've not developed any style of football, the Brazilians, doing what they fancy on the football pitch. Again, football is going to be moving away from this. Football is moving away from not having a plan in attack and defence. Here we have Krstajić, left-hand side, taking on Fagner. Can he get the cross in? Cutting back onto himself. Kolarov, ball into the box, controlled here. Chance. Mitrovic going for this spectacular overhead kick there, guys. James, MUFC, what's your favourite tactics period? The 2-3-5 in the 50s, Ajax Total Football, the Pep Guardiola 4-3-3, Inter Milan, Herrera in the 60s. I love it all. I'd love to watch a bit more of the Ukrainian team, the Dynamo Kiev team. I can't remember the manager's name, but he liked the pressing football. I also love to see the Milan team of the 90s. For me, my favourite team I've ever watched was United 2008. That was a sick team. I really enjoyed what Barca. I've really enjoyed Real Madrid as well. I love the thing with Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid was the flexibility of their tactics. Arguably, probably one of my favourite teams ever. Neymar here in the final third. What can he do? Cutting back onto his left foot. Little pass to Coutinho. Coutinho in the number 10 area. Little chip ball over the top. Well defended again by Serbia. Can Gabriel Jesus return the ball? Nope. Simple defending there. I'd have loved to see the start of football. I reckon the CAFs in the 30s, drinking your coffee in Austria, that would have been fantastic. Chatting about football, that's what I would have loved. Mitrovic acrobatics, lovely stuff there. The Stoke 4-3-3, is that what you love, Regan? I love a bit of Stoke. That's what I mean, yeah. Do I mean Lobandovicki? Probably butchered that dude's name, but that was the guy that I meant. Yeah, 100%. His tactics were they changed football to be more of a collective pressing style, and really influenced a lot of top managers. Why is Didier Deschamps so defensive? Did Lippi not have much of an impact? Lippi had much of an impact? Not sure. I mean, Didier Deschamps is not defensive. He just has no style of football going forward, which means it looks like he's a defensive manager when he just doesn't have a clue. But France will be a lot better on the counter-attack, so they will improve. Here we have a ball into the box. Little chip over the keeper. It's 1-0 Brazil. Fantastic ball. We're going to get VAR. Paulinho, the guy we were talking about, why he's in this Brazil team is to make those runs. Fantastic pass from midfield. Catching the Serbian defence high. Paulinho run from midfield, fantastic football from Brazil, who finally have the opening goal in the game. Some shakes of the head from Croatia. The party is definitely started now, guys. This is what we wanted. We wanted an early goal. A brilliant ball here. It's a Coutinho. Looks like Coutinho, yeah, just trotting. Fantastic timing, brilliant pass. Coutinho, what a talent. Paulinho as well, looking where the keeper is, lovely finishing. Dinkover, fantastic goal with his first touch. Paulinho, the Chinese dragon, exactly that. Absolutely fantastic. That was a fantastic goal, that. Scores goals from midfield, that's what he does. That's what Paulinho does for Brazil under Tite, what he's done before for Brazil. What was the keeper doing in that moment? Yeah, hesitated at the moment. He did. In that situation, I'd always tell my keeper to maybe hold his line a bit more. I think the positioning was poor in that situation. If you're going to come out there, you've got to be, spreading yourself open. You've got to have that low centre of gravity. He's just, he gets chipped and it's his complete fault. What happens to the groups now? Of course, it will be Switzerland number 1, I do believe. Let me double check that for you guys. Let me update the group. Brazil will be top. Brazil will now be top of the group, I do believe. Yeah, Brazil top on 7 points, Switzerland on 7 points, Serbia on 3 points, and Costa Rica bottom. So, Brazil will be going through. What does that mean for our wall chart? Let's update the wall chart. So they'll be playing Mexico. Brazil-Mexico is the current thing, and Switzerland versus Sweden. That's a hell of a draw that for Brazil. But they could have some problems dealing with Lozano and the boys. Mexico, sort of the hipsters team of this tournament. Really good counter-attacking side. Did get battered today, though, to be fair. Really took a beating from the Swedes. But again, you've got to look back at the goals scored. I think we are going on this now. Yeah, goals scored. So again, could all change, guys. Could all change in terms of the group 1 and 2 in terms of the goals. You know, if Switzerland scores some more goals, Shaqiri starts bagging or Neymar starts scoring, it will open up the gap. And that is beautiful biscuits, guys. Goal for Paulinho. Fantastic goal. Lovely, lovely stuff. Just going to update, do some updating of some things. Lovely things. There we go. Hopefully, guys, have we updated the scoreboard? We have. Lovely stuff. That's what I like to hear. Got some shout out to the lads behind the camera. Coutinho winning it, doing some slaloming. Coutinho has been Brazil's best player. You know, you think at a tournament that Neymar would shine. Coutinho, 2 goals and an assist. Fantastic start for his, you know, his World Cup so far. I think credit to him as a player. You know, really. Moving on, I think his level's kind of gone up a little bit at Barca, I find. It's just think he looks like a more mature player, should we say. And again, that's what you want to see. That's the beauty of football. Continual improvement. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. Let's get on to the comments, guys. What's going down right now? Mitrovic, Jesus, Mitrovic is absolutely flying in the aerial duels department. Let's get into the stats. Dominant. Again, this could be the problem for Brazil if they do come against Croatia, like I got in my wall chart. Maybe they're going. No, I've not got them coming up against Croatia at all. Croatia in the final it would be if they get there. Of course, my prediction was Brazil-Germany final. That's obviously not happening now. But Mitrovic is really causing them a lot of problems in the air. They are looking long to him quite a lot, and he's won 6 out of 7 in that final third. Look at that. Absolute domination, getting Serbia higher up that pitch. And again, it could be a weakness for Brazil if they're playing someone like a team that's got a big guy, you know, your Spains of the world with Dave Costa, even though they don't go so direct when they have at times. Sergej there winning a pretty good corner, again, physical performance from Milinkovic-Savic, who's recovered the joint most balls on the pitch. Lovely stuff from Milinkovic-Savic, working hard. And again, 2 out of 5 tackles won, showing his work rate, his defensive side of his game. Jose, sign him up. Cross coming in, guys. Cross coming in for Serbia. Jajic pulling his socks up, pulling his socks down. Can he drop to the ball into the correct place? FFL Productions. Coutinho is a contender for player of the tournament. Yep, completely agree with that. Punch out by Alisson. Alisson's been doing very well with his punches today. Really appreciate goalkeeping where you're commanding that area. Jones in goal tomorrow for Christopher Young, maybe. If you want to throw that goddamn game, do it. Switzerland, potential dark horses? Well, I think they're probably the most unfavoured side that have got to a certain situation, but Croatia are the dark horses, guys. You heard it here first. I love it how Paulinho's reinvented his career. Yep, I really love that. How, you know, you can go to Tottenham and really struggle in a 2-man pivot. Similar to, there's another player that went to Spurs at a similar time, Stamboli, who went to Shakhtar after that. He had the same thing where he's better in a 3-man midfield, or now he plays as a centre-half in a 3-man defence, but that Spurs team was a little bit too rigid for the likes of Paulinho. I think Paulinho now would be so good under Pochettino. It'd be really, really good. I think I'd enjoy that. Really would enjoy that. Dave, Lukaku is out. Out injured, is he? That's sad news for Manchester United fans. Is he out? Completely out of the game? Is he? What's the injury? What are we talking?
In the last game.
Oh, so he's going to be from the last game. Sad news. I want to see more of Romelu. Maybe Fellaini up front. We'll see the beauty of Marouane Fellaini playing as a number 9. Here we have Serbia. Another cross. What can Jajic do right now? Can he whip it into the ball? Whips in. Near post. Defended by Brazil on that near post. Good stuff. I think Brazil got caught out actually by... Was it last game they got caught out from a corner? No, it wasn't last game. Maybe there was a... No, was it the Swiss one? Maybe it was the Swiss one. Here we have, though, Dusan Tadic coming into that left foot, right-hand side. Lovely spin by Milinkovic-Savic, looking for the through ball. A little bit under hit, you'd say. Neymar putting the pressure on. Turn out there, brilliant stuff. Cleared down the pitch, gone out for a throw-in. Lukaku is definitely not injured. Let me double check. Let's do some David O'Brien sources. I do have reports in the studio that he's injured. If he's not, I apologise. She looked onto Reddit straight away. According to AS, Atletico Madrid captain Gabi is going to be going to Qatar. Gabi, no! I love Gabi. Gabi is one of those guys that I absolutely love in European football. Deserves a Champions League winner medal. God, he works so goddamn hard. In that final where they had Real by the balls, they had that 4-3-3. Real were done. Real went on to win at penalties. I felt so sorry for Gabi. So sorry. Fantastic sort of season for him in that thing. And it's just, sad stuff. But yeah, Lukaku may or may not be injured. We'll find out at half-time for you guys, so stay tuned to that. Of course, we've got some Milinkovic-Savic stuff as well. So Defo isn't injured. He left the last game because of an injury. Yeah, so we're getting mixed reports in the comments as well, guys. Savic, Milinkovic-Savic, Pogba, Fred, 3 guys that can do a bit of everything. Could be interesting. Yeah, it would be really interesting. I'd quite like to see Fred maybe moving to a little bit more of a defensive midfielder. I think you could evolve him in that way. From what I've watched of Fred, very good at winning the ball back in certain areas, and I'd like to see him as a DM. Would be quite nice. And with Milinkovic-Savic and Pogba, you've got a lot of physicality in there. I think what City, have done quite well is, of course, put the possession-based game. But if you're they're looking to bring Jorginho in at DM, a Regista, very, very soft defensively. De Bruyne, who has done well winning the ball back and so forth, but given a scrap, probably would lose that. And as well with whoever you're going to throw in there, David Silva. United need to go into those games and physically dominate them and bully them in central midfield. And if you had Milinkovic-Savic, Fred and Pogba, you're going to be doing that. And that's exactly what I want to see, guys. That is it. Beautiful. He is injured. Christopher Young saying, James MUFC, he is injured. They're saying he's injured, but he's just probably getting rested. Yeah, fair enough, Regan. That's probably maybe why. Except for United, which team would Milinkovic-Savic suit best? Could be interesting to see him at Real if they wanted to move their midfield on. Could be interesting at the likes of maybe Bayern Munich as well. Goretzka, Milinkovic-Savic could be quite nice. I'd love to see him at Lazio for another year. I'm really enjoying Lazio at the moment under Inzaghi. They just play a really good style. Of course, not Felipe Inzaghi, Simeone Inzaghi. That's the Lazio manager, I do believe. Just going to double check that fact. I don't want to get that wrong. But I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Simeone Inzaghi. Really nice 3-5-2 that he plays, or a 3-4-2-1. Tactically flexible. Just a good all-round style of football. But we'll see tomorrow whether he's injured or not, guys. Keep getting into the comments. And of course, like the video if you guys want to. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. If we hit 750, as you can see on the ticker below, we'll be giving away a Nigeria shirt. We're probably just going to give away a Nigeria shirt in the next stream anyway, because we might not hit that button. Ellis Horton saying United in a 4-3-1-2 next year. Thought would be very nice. It suits a lot of their players. I think tactically would be good. The only thing I'd worry about is, again, what I mentioned on yesterday's stream, the wingers being a bit of a problem with that system. You think a lot of teams play a 4-5-1 in the Premier League. Mike, do you reckon you could switch the aircon on, buddy? It's just on the wall to just come into the thing. Just getting a little bit hot in the studio. A little bit tense. In Manchester, it has been like about 25,000 degrees in the city centre. So if you're in Manchester, make sure to bring your sunblock for tomorrow. If Savic goes to Real, can we have Modric, please? Yeah, that'll be good. Serbia needs to change their formation. Yeah, I've not been too impressed by them so far. Not looking too good. The other Inzaghi is at Bologna. Yeah, Regan, he was at, was it Brescia before that as well? Neymar has been disappointing. Let's get his stats up, guys. We've got stats as well. Our stats powered by StatZone. The app is in the link in the description below. If you want to go and check that out, it's just a solid app. It's so good. Probably my favourite app on the entire App Store. That is saying something. But let's look at Neymar's stats, because again, he's been so ineffective. Kind of frustrating. It's, he feels like he's got the whole world on his shoulders, and I think it's one of those things where if he played a little bit like Coutinho, where Coutinho is just playing with freedom, you'd see a better Neymar. But again, only having one shot on goal. Decent shot. That was some good movement, actually. That's probably Neymar's best sort of play, was when he got into the penalty area and got that shot, flashed that shot across the box. Here we have Coutinho again, looking for the ball over the top, out wide to Neymar. Defended well by the Serbian right back. In terms of other things, though, 30 out of 35 passes, created 2 chances. The ball out round the back actually was pretty decent through Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel should have put that into the back of the net. Some good cover defending from Serbia. But yeah, that's a fair point there. That could have been something. We'll be talking about Neymar in a different way. Again, I'd like to see him doing these, completing these dribbles a bit closer to goal, like in the penalty area. Again, not completed one in the box, but decent in those areas. Just want to see a bit more from him. Too many times he's slowing the play down with his football. Getting into, taking it, receiving it, and then breaking on it and allowing the defence to sort of recycle their shape. You don't want that. A lot of the passes, again, similar to Messi, what we're talking about, the Messi side of it, is he's receiving a lot of the ball with the opponents ahead of him. With these sort of talented players at finishing, you want to see them getting in behind and then putting the ball, either, you know, working the ball in an area where they can either get an assist or score a goal. You almost want to tell them to get away from the ball. Here we have Paulinho driving through the middle. He's had a wonderful half, you know, capping that off with a goal. Low ball across the box, nobody making that near post run, but great energy again from Paulinho, who's been the player of the half for me. Really been the player of the half. You know, not only making that really big impact with that wonderful chip, but again, you know, 95% of his passes completed, keeping it simple. Again, it's working quite well, this midfield. Coutinho getting on the ball in the final third, Casemiro holding, and really Paulinho just doing the hard yards, doing the defensive work, you know, making the, you know, looking at to just connect the play in a way. And I quite like that from players that they're you know, like Rakitic used to play for Barcelona with Messi and of course Neymar and Suarez. But that's half time, guys. It's 1-0, 10-0. Time to talk a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses of Milinkovic-Savic. We're ready to roll that goddamn clip.
So let's move on to his strength. His first strength is pretty obvious, and that is his physicality. Milinkovic-Savic is a great weapon to play at the back, and Lazio frequently go long to either his head or to his feet. In terms of going to his head, that's the thing we want to talk about first, this deep-lying target man type role. As I mentioned before, a deep-lying target man does, you know, get involved in the build-up deep in midfield, keeps it simple before making that move. Sergej usually pulls into the inside left channel, usually, you know, forces himself up into the opposition centre-halves and looks to win those aerial duels. We take the game in the Europa League against Nice. Nice took an early lead through Mario Balotelli. Lazio then had kick-off, and what happened next was absolutely fantastic. Almost a set piece. Out of the training ground, Nani played the ball back to Radu. Radu, as the centre-half, blasted the ball up to Sergej, who was sort of on that left-hand side of the pitch. He raised, he flicked the ball on, and Salcedo put the ball into the back of the net. But what's so quite interesting about that physicality is that he's so dominant in these arenas. If Lazio do chuck the ball up to him, 9 times out of 10 he's going to flick it on. And from set pieces, from the almost kick-off is a set piece for Lazio, because Sergej goes long, they play the ball up to him, and they run off him. A great physical asset. But the big thing as well, it allows the Lazio to build in that final third. It allows them to go long to Milinkovic-Savic, and then the likes of Luis Alberto or even Immobile can get involved in the play, but Lazio are already there, already in the final third. The next thing about his physicality, his strength, his ability to shield the ball is ridiculous. Not only is he 6'3", is he powerful, is he so strong with his frame, he has the skills with his feet. If you allow Sergej to bring the ball down and get it into his feet, you are not going to get the ball off him. There's an unbelievable bit of skill against Nice where he brought the ball down, he shielded it, then dragged back, turned, beat 2 players, then got Lazio into a counter-attacking situation. And it's so dangerous to allow him to do that. He has that ability to make that quick step inside or outside. It's almost like Paul Pogba. He's a street footballer. Very tall, very physical, but very good with his feet. Of course, we mentioned before, the 1.7 dribbles that he's completed per game in Serie A this season is very good for a central midfielder. Moving on to his second massive strength, of course, is in game intelligence. What I love about Milinkovic-Savic is he's almost a modern-day central midfielder. You know, what I've said before, what I want from my central midfielders these days is I want them to get in between the lines, I want them to split, open up that passing lane to the centre-forward and then get involved there. That's exactly what Milinkovic-Savic did against Juventus. Of course, when you're looking at players in Serie A, you want to see them playing against, you know, your standard opponents, your Chievos, your Bolognas, but you want to see what they can do against Juve. And Milinkovic-Savic in the game in October was man of the match. Not only was he physical, not only was he box to box, what he worked so hard, he shuttled, but he really contributed in the final third. Both of the goals he was involved with. And it was that movement, that intelligence to get in between the lines at the right moment that makes Milinkovic-Savic not only a great target to play to his feet, but as well he can get his head up and play the through balls. The first goal that Lazio scored was a fantastic move from back to front. Lazio built up quite slowly, Milinkovic-Savic getting involved in the deep move, but then Lucas had it at defensive midfield. Milinkovic-Savic was in a wide position, he moved inside. The ball was fired from Lucas into Immobile's feet. Laid it off to Milinkovic-Savic, Milinkovic-Savic to Luis Alberto, Immobile on the run, through ball, goal time. But it was all about that smartness, that one-touch play in the final third that's so crucial to play in between the lines. Not only has the intelligence to go from a wide position to move inside to receive the layoff from the striker, but then it's that quick passing play, that quick thinking that Milinkovic-Savic just shows his intelligence, and especially against Juventus. You take the other goal as well, was even better, even more about this deep-lying target man type position. Again, Lazio with the ball at the back, slow build-up. They didn't have that much of the ball, they played on the break as they always do, but Tadic had the ball at centre-half. Milinkovic-Savic up against Chiellini, playing as a target man, playing as a physical sort of attacking element for Lazio. Of course, Tadic drives through midfield, draws in Khedira, then pops a fantastic ball to Milinkovic-Savic's feet. At that point, Milinkovic-Savic had pulled off Chiellini and received the ball to feet, turned, through ball Immobile. Immobile runs at Buffon, Buffon takes him out, penalty, Immobile scores. What was so good about that was Milinkovic-Savic's movement to stand on the centre-half, then pull off him into the space in between the lines. Of course, that stagnated the defence. That meant that Chiellini was ahead of Barzagli, Immobile has that angle, makes the run through, penalty, goal time. Brilliant intelligence from the Serbian central midfielder to receive the ball in the perfect area. Of course, now we've got to move on to his weaknesses. Pretty much his biggest weakness is his first touch in certain situations. He's had more unsuccessful touches than any other player in Serie A this season. We've got to kind of take Lazio as they are quite a direct side. They do like to play the ball to Milinkovic-Savic. They like to fizz it into him. They like to play up to his chest and so forth. So it's quite difficult for him to, take the ball down every single time. But I think the thing that he needs to work on is when he does go up against the centre halves, which he does quite frequently, moving, away from central midfield into the opposition. When he does go to them and he sort of sticks to them, then comes off and they follow him, then he receives it into feet. Sometimes in those situations, his first touch lets him down, or even his second touch, he takes it under with his right and his left foot goes a little bit. And if it's something to, complete his game, of course, he's already such an asset in terms of, aerially and going forward and intelligence-wise. But to complete him as a player, he needs to work on his left foot. There's other instances as well where he takes unnatural touches. When he's playing as left central midfield and someone's playing from the right-hand side, he tries to use his right foot to receive the ball. Where in that...
We are back, guys. We are back on the stream now. Just a little bit of a half-time break, a little half-time water break. Probably need some more water. Down the wrong way. Coutinho has been directly involved in a goal every game at the World Cup so far. That's how committed I am to stats. I'm having a bit of a meltdown here, guys. Went down the wrong way, just centred myself up. Have a little bit of a break. It's getting very hot in the studio right now. Lovely biscuits. What do you guys think of Milinkovic-Savic? Should Manchester United bring him to Old Trafford? Or, if you support another team, the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, do you think, of course, Milinkovic-Savic should be brought to your club? Been pretty tasty in the Liverpool midfield. Fabinho, of course, Naby Keita and Milinkovic-Savic will be disgusting. Just getting a replay of the goal on the ITV coverage. A fantastic little finish from Paulinho. Scores all the goals in terms of doing the business. Absolute business for Brazil so far. Again, Coutinho looking like the guy who's really controlling the tempo. And if we have a look at his stats so far in the game, he's just put in a really good performance. We're just going to update the stats. And then get straight stuck into those beautiful statistics. Have a look at Milinkovic-Savic as well at half-time, because he is the main man on the mic. In terms of Coutinho, the one shot on goal, blocked edge of the area, But again, dictating the play in the good areas and being sort of direct when he needs to be direct. Again, we haven't seen that enough from the likes of Messi, the likes of Neymar, finding those passes in those central areas. And Coutinho's kind of doing that. 31 out of his 30 passes completed so far. That fantastic assist for Paulinho. And I like that Coutinho's taking a bit more risks. We've seen a lot of midfielders so far keep it too simple. When we've seen Ozil in deep midfield, like we saw today, too simple in possession. Coutinho, though, looking for those balls for runners from midfield. And again, you have that with Paulinho. Again, doing some decent defensive work as well. 2 out of 2 tackles won. Get some good work from Coutinho. Probably picked that up from his days working under the great Jurgen Klopp. In terms of Milinkovic-Savic, just have a look at his numbers as well. Probably could do a little bit more in the final third. No shots so far. I don't think he's creating any chances either. He's playing more of a defensive role in this side. I think you want to see him a little bit higher up the pitch, so maybe changing it out. What he's doing is he's turning the ball over. He's recovered the ball more than any other player on the pitch. So that's been the positives. We've seen his defensive side of his game today. Of course, his attacking side is probably where all of his strengths lie. But we're kind of seeing that he's can win the ball back and so forth. Again, attempting 6 tackles, putting that work in, only winning 2 of them. But still, 6 tackles is very, very impressive for a central midfielder. Again, 1 interception as well in the opponent's half, right outside their area. Lovely stuff from Milinkovic-Savic in that first half. Guys, get your thoughts into the comments. What do you think about the game so far? Are you enjoying it? What's your favourite thing about football? Thoughts on Lucas Torreira from a question coming in. I like Lucas Torreira. Watched Sampdoria a few times this season, and he's always been one of the standout players. Very abrasive, tactical. I think that's what Arsenal have lacked in the the last few years, is that person that's going to break you down, take your legs out, bring you down, obviously take a yellow card, and then not have that goal coming in. Milinkovic-Savic is a hype man. Don't need him. Nah, fair enough. That's fair enough. It's up to it's up to you if that's your thoughts. Biggest disappointment player this World Cup, mine's Werner and Lewandowski. I think Werner's been good when he's had the chance. I think Germany have just been atrocious. Mario Gomez has let me down, absolutely let me down in these sort of situations. I'd take Marcelo over Carlos. What about you, Marcelo, Carlos? What are we talking about here, buddy? Let's Savic stay in the Italian league. We don't need him. Ain't worth 100 million before to go for Jorginho. Not a massive thing about Jorginho. De Gea's flopping, Dave. No, he's not flopping. He's just having a little bit of a bad time at the moment. Keep getting into the comments, guys. Keep getting into the absolute comments. Sergej's been poor from Serbia, but not United type. Stop hyping him, Dave. FFSS. I think I've watched quite a bit of him, and I like him as a player. I think he's a very talented individual. And again, judging him on 3 games for a Serbian team probably isn't the best way to go. He's a very, very good player. Trust me. Trust me. Dave, are you surprised that Tadic has signed for Ajax? Yeah, I'm pretty surprised about that, considering his previous past in Dutch football. It seems like a bit of a weird one to go back, and after playing for maybe FC 20 Groningen, to go back to Ajax. It seems like a backward step for both the club and the player in a way. Where Ajax, they've got a number of talented players at the moment that you want to see getting minutes in those positions. Donny van der Beek could play there, David Neras, Ziyech. There's a lot of guys that could play there. Lasse Schöne, Frankie de Jong. I understand why, of course, Tadic was brilliant in the Eredivisie, loads of assists and so forth, was the assist king, as he called himself. But again, I think Southampton need to move on as well as a side, and with Mark Hughes, they basically need to sack Hughes as soon as they can. That's basically what needs to happen. Jonas Hector for United left back. I'd love Jonas Hector at Manchester United, but he's just signed a new deal at Cologne, which basically he's going to be staying at Cologne for the rest of his career. That's what he wants to do. They've just been relegated from the Bundesliga, and him and the goalkeeper they've got, they're both committed. Timo Horn, they're basically committed to Cologne and been like, look, we're going to get the lads back up. I like that. I really like that. That's really, really fair in terms of you as a player and so forth. Oh, Roberto Carlos or Marcelo, Dave. I prefer Marcelo, to be honest. I love Roberto Carlos. I think he's a great player, but I think Marcelo has got a better attacking game than Roberto Carlos. I think Marcelo is like a playmaker in the final third, and I think he provides something that maybe Carlos didn't have. Carlos, obviously a fantastic attacking fullback, but renowned for his shooting. I think Marcelo's got a bigger, he's got an all-round game. You see that in the 3 Champions League, and Marcelo being one of the best players. I'd say probably not this season, but the season before, he was one of the Madrid's best players, and this season as well in the knockout stages. So I'd say Marcelo, guys. But get into the comments. Who do you think's better? De Jong to Barca. Yeah, Barcelona have been sniffing around a few of the Ajax players at the moment. De Ligt as well would be a fantastic signing for Barcelona. Be really, really tasty. I really think that we need an upgrade on Matic. Thoughts? Yeah, that's fair point. Fair point. I think that Fred coming in, again, like I mentioned before, could play defensive midfield if he wanted to. They've still got Ander Herrera, Fellaini may stay. There's still players in the squad that can fulfil that defensive midfield role. And I think it's like what United want to do, how they want to build their midfield. Now, I wouldn't really want to take someone like Jorginho. I just think he's a bit too suspect defensively. And I think for Man United, where they were getting caught out in certain games, was at defensive midfield building up. And with Jorginho, he isn't going to win the ball back if he loses it. Of course, he does complete the majority of his passes, but there's still that slight weakness there that he isn't going to bring you down and so forth. And that's the only sign of issue. De Ligt to Spurs, that'd be good. De Ligt to United would be good. De Ligt everywhere would be good. Everything would be great. What's the score, guys? It is 1-0 to Brazil. 1-0 to Brazil so far in the game. We're currently at half-time. We're looking forward to the second half. It should be a call, because Serbia have really got to sort things out. I'd like to see Milinkovic-Savic pushed further forward. I'd like to see maybe a back 3 used by Serbia. That could be allowing the likes of Kolarov to get a bit higher up the pitch. Krstajić hasn't been that good, and I don't think Tadic has been that good. Free their wing backs, allow Milinkovic-Savic to play in that natural narrow position with Jajic behind Mitrovic. That's what I'd like to see. United should go for Mexico's Salcedo. Salcedo's very, very old, I think. He's around 34 years old. He's been knocking around the leagues for ages. Or is it a different one? Carlos, is this a different one? Have I been getting completely confused with the Salcedo? Is this the dude? Eintracht Frankfurt one? Yeah, it is. Maybe we go for him then. I thought it was the old one. The one that's retired ages ago. It was at PSV. Stinking hell, Dave. You need to sort yourself out, bro. Fellaini is an overpaid water boy. Keep it coming in. Tactical fouls is killing the flair of the game. What's your take on something needs to be done? I think tactical fouls have always been part of the game. They always will be part of the game. I think as a player, you need to, if you think that you're going to get brought down in those situations, pass the ball. Because as soon as you pass the ball, you can't get tactically fouled. If you move the ball quickly in counter-attacks, as you should, move it from one wing to the other quickly through a central player, doesn't matter if, that's the big thing. A lot of players think that when they're counter-attacking that they have to dribble. They shouldn't be. They should be moving the ball quickly. That's the big thing. You ever working on those situations, 2v1s, 3v2s, 9 times out of 10, if you go alone, you're going to lose the ball. The problem comes is when you create that overlap. That's the big thing. Overlap, underlap, the through ball, opening up the two centre-backs when you're breaking, or open up the two defensive players with passes. Running at people, people like to watch that, but for me, counter-attacking, breaking quickly should be done that. You saw Griezmann do that yesterday when he carried the ball from his own penalty area nearly to the opposition's penalty area, and he got brought down. Brilliant foul by Zanka. If he'd released the ball, France would have scored. They'd have 4-on-2. But he didn't release the ball, and that's the big thing. Tactical fouls are there. I like tactical fouls. I think they're part of the game. Maybe we could look to maybe red carding certain tactical fouls if it creates a certain situation, but at the same time, you've still got to get past the opposition defenders and X, Y, and Z. But no, interesting. So I'm confusing Salcedo with Salcedo. Probably. Apologies, guys. Apologies. I'm going to have to watch him, do some research on him, guys, and deploy you some knowledge next time I am live, which is Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Argentina versus France, that's going to be quality. Do you think Argentina are going to win versus France? I think France will win that. I think France will suit playing this Argentinian backline that just seems so vulnerable to counter-attacks. Someone like Mascherano really dropped off, really dropped off in the last sort of 6 to 18 months. Just not as good as he used to be. But if Argentina can, get high and can win. But we do have this kicked off in the second half. We are 21 seconds in, 22, 23, 24. If you want to sort of line up your stream with my stream is a little bit behind because, of course, ITV don't know what they're doing. Keep getting into the comments, guys. Sane could have saved Germany today. He could have done. I think the big thing with that is, it would have been interesting to see him, in those wide areas when they were looking to go, for example, Jonas Hector and Kimmich were so isolated for Germany, they never got to that situation where they were pulling the two out, and that's, again, why Croatia are really good. Perisic and Rebic pull out wide, create the 2v1, because you see a lot of modern-day wingers not tracking back and defending. The big thing with Sane, he would have provided that width on the left and allowing Jonas to maybe overlap, providing a good platform for them to get in behind defences. And again, with Sane's pace and his ability on the ball to take people on, it's one of these things where it's a bit frustrating, very, very frustrating for them. And again, if you wanted to see them upgrade their, their philosophy and their style and so forth for Germany, Sane is going to have to be key to the next time. Again, I like to banter off Sane because it's funny, but at the same time, he's a good player. Who is the best finisher in the world? I'd say Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Both of them. Different styles, different techniques, but those guys are the best. I think you're looking at players like Griezmann when he's in form, really good finisher. But at the moment, of course, Messi and Ronaldo. Sorry, that was an easy shave, easy win for me. Statman Cave to Man United, 900 million. Yes, Jaden, that is exactly what that's going down. So, if the Brazil game stays the same, Switzerland get another, they finish top. Yeah, something that you got to mention, guys. The goal difference is crucial, and I think that goes down to the points, the foul points as well. So even if Switzerland get one goal, they will be top, which will, to be honest, this is the weird thing right now. Either team have got like you're playing Sweden or Mexico. I think if you go down the Swedish side of the draw, if you beat Sweden, you'll play Belgium. If you go down the other side, you'll play England. So it's kind of like either way, you're going to play a top team. So it doesn't really matter too much, in my personal opinion, about whether Switzerland or Brazil finish top, but it's interesting. All those permutations, very, very interesting. Again, we're going to be covering the game on the True Geordie show tomorrow. If you want to check that out on YouTube, the True Geordie, the King of the North, the fella. Easy as that. Some little stats from the first half. Neymar completed 5 dribbles in the first half. Nobody else managed more than 1. Matic more interceptions than anyone else on the pitch. Matic doing the classic Nemanja Matic things, winning the ball back, moving it, lovely disco moves. But yeah, football's good, isn't it? Top football, top goals. Just getting back to the stream. Oh, I've just refreshed it, my bad. Back into here. Again, guys, keep liking the stream. We're closing in on 100. Let's get to 100. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Smash that like button into oblivion. Break it. Break YouTube. Smash YouTube up. That's all the good stuff you want to do. Keep getting your comments in, any of your questions and anything like that, guys. Because we want to keep this conversation going. The game is yet to get into life in the second half. Cheers, Will. You absolute legend. I was getting a little bit sort of dry in the old mouth after nearly choking myself at the start of the second half. What can Serbia kind of maybe need to make some changes? Maybe have a look at the Serbian bench and how they can move it around a bit, because it's looking okay. There could be some changes. Though we do have Serbia on the break here. Counter-attack situation again. Kolarov wide on the left. Can he get the crossing? Low cross into the penalty area. Defended by Fagner. And we do have Ljajic looking to create. This is the problem with Brazil now. They're just waiting to pounce like a tiger, ready to strike and rip off your opponent's head. That's what they were going to do with Serbia if they get that opportunity. Again, a terrible ball from Ljajic. Not his great game. In terms of the bench, I'd like to see a bit of Zivkovic, the Benfica winger. Very, very good little player. Moved into as a number 10 at the end of the season. Technical, very, very good at taking people on 1v1. Could add a threat, and is good at crossing. Maybe throw him on. Could be a very good option. And Jovic as well. Jovic playing for Eintracht Frankfurt this season, kind of really upgraded his himself as a player and as a person. There's a brilliant interview with him where he was talking about at Benfica how he was a bit lazy. He didn't do things that he needed to do. He didn't go to, I think he missed a few team meetings or a few training sessions, got dumped out of Benfica, moved to, of course, Eintracht Frankfurt under Niko Kovac, and had a really good end of the season. And that's why, of course, he was in the Serbian squad. Again, a lot of these Serbian players, the likes of Zivkovic, Milinkovic-Savic, Jovic, all won the Under-20 World Cup in 2015 against Brazil. So maybe they need some inspiration on the bench to get back here. Shout out to Vuj as well. David Vujanic, probably there, absolutely riled up, getting the lads, chanting and so forth. But they need a little bit more from Serbia. A little bit flat in this second half. They need to come out with a little bit more aggression. Again, the ball out from Fagner to find Neymar. But again, there's bank of four. He's got like 3 players to beat already moving over. It's quite interesting. Milinkovic-Savic is quite deep on this right-hand side of defensive midfield. He's looking to sort of help out the fullback, and of course Tadic supporting every time Neymar gets the ball. Milinkovic-Savic is on him. It's a relatively interesting job because he is tracking him and looking to block the balls off to him. So it's that tactical diversity that you want in a Mourinho player, someone that can do jobs. That's the big thing with football. You need players that can do jobs. That's why, again, Scott McTominay is such a wonderful player, because he can do that. He can do a job. Same with Ander Herrera, can do a job when he needs to do a job. The man-marking job that Herrera did in Hazard in the FA Cup final was very good. The only time he let him go was a 1v1 with Phil Jones. Of course, Chelsea scored, but that was the only time that he let him go in the entire game. Just a little bit frustrating, that, guys. Dave, top 5 best ball-playing midfielders at the moment. Very interesting question. Maybe we'll come back to that question a little bit if we do a little bit of research and get some names into the comments, guys. That'll be good. Probably off the top of my head, we're going to go with Busquets, definitely be up there. Julian Weigl will be up there. Jorginho, 100% going to be there from Napoli. You're thinking Fernandinho's definitely evolved himself further forward. He's got to have some respect for how City played. Again, he was the key defensive pivot there. In terms of ball playing, I'm not going to say Casemiro, not really a ball player. Maybe if the likes of Kroos were to drop a little bit deep, I don't think he will, but he'd be absolutely class. But yeah, probably Busquets is the best still. Definitely up there in terms of his ability to do things from defensive midfield, move the ball, create space. Such a good player. Any young defensive midfielders out there, go and watch clips of Sergio Busquets just for 24 hours, and then you'll become the best player in the world. Simple as that. Neymar again, deep, looking to get on the ball. Fagner in a central area, working it out to Paulinho, I do believe. In between the lines, Neymar in that central area. Coutinho pushing forward. Just have a little word with them, just to keep the noise down. We're just doing a little bit of a live stream, but we have Serbia on the counter-attack here. 4v3, what can they do? Ball out wide, cut back. Ljajic, can he do anything here? Great tackle by Casemiro on the cover. Fantastic work there from Casemiro, Real Madrid defensive midfielder. Brilliant in stopping counter-attacks and just being in that right position. Ljajic taking a slightly dodgy touch. If he killed that first time, or the pass had the cutback had been slightly better, that would have been a big opportunity. But Serbia, that was the best moment they've created so far. Here we have Milinkovic-Savic deep in midfield, looking forward. Ball back there, closed down by Gabriel Jesus. back to the goalkeeper, and Serbia do move the ball out there. Brazil in Croatia in the final, yeah, could be a shout. Trade Pogba for Kroos, that's such a hard one. Toni Kroos is the best midfielder in the world, so you would, but at the same time, I can see Pogba getting to the levels of Toni Kroos. So again, Pogba in 2 to 3 years will be the best midfielder in world football. So kind of that thing: do you want success now or later? I'd rather see success with Paul Pogba, because I think he's a big fan of United, of course. Growing up a lot there. You take him, who came at a young age. Of course, he's moving to Juve, but back at the club that he said that he loves. So I'd rather see a Paul Pogba Manchester United eventually. I'd like to see what happens with it. Tactically evolving would be really interesting. So yeah, I'd keep Pogba, but Kroos right now would be perfect. Is Coutinho playing? Yeah, Coutinho's playing. Coutinho's probably been the man of the match so far. 31 out of 34 passes completed in the first half, registering 1 assist in the process. So we have Nemanja Matic in the Brazilian half. It's going to be all about to see whether Serbia can break them down now, I think. I think we want to see a bit more of this. Milinkovic-Savic turning in between the lines. Shot and blocked. But a little bit better from Serbia. It's better to see Milinkovic-Savic in between the lines. That's where he's really dangerous. Who's the most creative in this team? It's supposed to be Jajic, but at the moment he's not really getting on the ball. Again, you want to see Sergej operating in between the lines. He's really good at getting into those areas and turning and splitting people, like turning, getting their head up and through ball, and that's what I want to see. Message retracted. Want to see Fred play? Yeah, definitely want to see Fred play. I've been watching Fred today already. Watched him Shakhtar play Roma. I've got a video coming out hopefully on Friday or Saturday morning on the channel, Scout Report. Bit more analysis on Fred, so stay tuned to that. It's going to be an absolute corker. Serbia though, need a little bit of light in here. Should Angel Gomez go on loan? Comes in from Carl. So yeah, could be a good option for Gomez to go on loan, but what we've seen from loan moves recently for United is they've got to pick the right club. You take Jesse Lingard's loan move to Brighton, right club. Lingard played a load of minutes, got action in the playoff finals. But with you're looking at Fosu Mensah's loan move to Palace, manager comes in, gets sacked after 6 games. New manager comes in, Roy Hodgson, plays him for a bit, then moves on to one of the youth prospects at Palace because, of course, Fosu Mensah's going back to United. You need to be very cautious with who you pick. Again, Fosu Mensah's next move, if he doesn't stay at United, needs to be very important. Same with Andres Pereira. Stupid reason why he left United to go to Valencia. I understand it that you're thinking you get more game time, but think Andres Pereira, play left, play right, attacking mid, centre mid, and defensive midfield he played in pre-season. Could have been a really good option. Ball into the box there, cleared over the bar. Good stuff from Jajic, finally getting at that angle and so forth into the box. Ash asking, did you watch the Mexico game, Dave? I thought Lindelof was superb. Again, really disappointing why I've barely seen Bay and Lindelof. I'd love to see Bay and Lindelof as a partnership. Really, really good. But no, I was watching the Germany game. I had some drama to it. I wanted to have my full attention on the Germany game, but the stats look very, very good for Victor Lindelof. And again, another clean sheet for Sweden. He looks very good with a commanding centre-back like Gronqvist next to him. And again, Luis Al at Benfica before him. Kind of what you want to see. Here we have Brazil on the break, 2v2, ball inside. Neymar, is he going to get there? Yes, he's behind the defence. What can he do? Can he come inside? Shot, brilliant save by the keeper at his feet. Should have been a goal there, guys. Good ball though from Coutinho, again creating on the counter-attack. Coutinho has been MVP so far. Absolutely fantastic. Costa Rica have scored 1-1. What is that? It's going to, 1-1 again. ITV so behind. Kay Watson with the goal. Joel Campbell. Error. We're supposed to be going main live. Sorry, guys. I didn't realise we were not on main live. But yeah, 1-1, which does mean the standings have changed. Brazil now top the group with 7 points and will be facing Mexico. I can't wait for that game. That's going to be real good game of football. That Switzerland to face Sweden as the things stand. But yeah, cheers for the goal update, guys. Keep getting into the comments. Keep chatting all that stuff. All the good stuff. Liking the video as well. What are we on right now? Let's keep pumping that up. 88. Let's get that higher, guys. Smash that into oblivion. We'll be delivering some more stuff. Maybe have a little bit of a stats look. We're nearly 57 minutes gone in the game. Milinkovic-Savic looks so lazy. I think it's the type of player he is. He doesn't look. I think it's more, but he's looking for the space and so forth. I think his work rate shows by the amount of ball he's won back. But everyone's open to their opinions. Jesus is a bum. Jesus lucky he plays for City. He ain't that good. But that's interesting observations for the comments, guys. Keep getting the comments in. Corner from Brazil, looking to the back post. Not good enough so far. Then the biggest thing with England, why they look so good, is because their set pieces are absolutely on point. Variation and so forth. Here we have a potential opportunity for Serbia. Decent defending from Coutinho. Been MVP for Brazil so far at the tournament, hasn't he? Really been MVP. We're just getting the replay of the goal finally from the Croatia game. Corner, header, brilliant. Lovely rise, lovely header. Watson shows his six-pack like he's an absolute maniac. Lovely slide, great celebration. Lovely stuff from Costa Rica. Here we have Jajic just in the opponent's half, playing it back to the centre-back, switching the play. Again, a little bit too slow. It's the kind of thing when teams have wanted to chase the game at this World Cup, they're taking too many touches. Again, you know, someone like Mascherano was really bad at that. Really, really bad at taking too long. Again, look at Milinkovic-Savic then, received it, played it, nice and quick. That's the type of thing. One touch, two touch play is how you move people around, how you open things up. Again, their attack still on, low ball into the box, easily held by Alisson, but that's kind of what you want to see. When you're playing in between the lines, move it quickly. That time it was the ball into feet to Milinkovic-Savic, little layoff, move it again in between the lines, got behind the Brazilian midfield. That's what teams haven't done enough in this World Cup. They're searching for goals, the likes of Argentina, the likes of Brazil, the likes of Germany. They're not moving it quick enough. I want Rashford to start instead of Sterling. He's been SITE for England. I think Sterling's been good. I think his link-up play has been very good. I don't think you've got to underrate that. I think he is a very good player. I think his link-up for the Jess Lingard goal was excellent, the 1-2 that he played there. But I think Rashford or Vardy will be better suited for Belgium. Really, really important there. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a preview of that later on. Serbia have to win to qualify unless Costa Rica score again. Oh, so Costa Rica, if they score again, they flip the script. They do, because Serbia are on, they're on 4 points already now. So that could be interesting. Really interesting thoughts. 3 points, yeah, so if they do score again, then, yeah, that's the big thing there. 3 points, yeah, that'll be 3-3-3. Coutinho is the first Brazilian player to either score or register assist in each of his first 3 games at the World Cup. Imagine watching Pele at 17, that would have been so sick. I just love to wish a time machine. Mitrovic nearly in on goal. Brilliant sweeper keeper play there from Alisson. Again, why he's such a good goalkeeper, very all-rounded in terms of being able to come off his line and so forth. Here we go. Liverpool or Man City to win the league, or maybe Man United. My money's on Leicester. JK. Bilbo coming in there. Chance for Serbia. Wow. Mitrovic is just missing chances, so I don't get fantasy football points there. A ball in from the right-hand side. Broke to Mitrovic. Good ball in there from the fullback keeper Alisson with a pretty unconvincing save. That was after raving about him. I've just commentator cursed him. Mitrovic has to score. If Mitrovic had scored his chances in this World Cup, Serbia would be instantly into the knockout stage. That was a huge chance. A header from about point blank. Terrible. Let's address the elephant in the room, Germany. Yeah, they crashed out the tournament. Let's address it now. Why the hell not? Again, just a toothless performance from the Germans. If you didn't see the game, 2 goals coming at sort of the death of the game, with Kim Jong-guan scoring. Let's move to the goal thing. Kim Jong-guan scoring following the corner. Again, if you didn't see that, it sort of broke around. Gabriel Jesus just going down like someone's poked him in the eye. Ball out wide. Serbia, big chance here. Can he deliver? Low ball, crawl into the box. Nobody's in there. Serbia looking good from this right-hand side at the moment. Little flick from Kolarov, out wide. Krstajić back to Kolarov. Can he do back to Krstajić on the left-hand side? Can he deliver? Whipped in ball. Nobody in the penalty area. Mitrovic, what are you doing, buddy? Milinkovic-Savic, get in there. Still, let's go back to the main live. We'll talk about Germany in just a second, because there's some good pressure from Serbia. Looking good at the moment. Twisting, turning. Chip ball over the top from Tadic. Whew, nearly goes in. Bounced off the bar, I think. Big chance there again. Serbia turning up the intensity in this game. It's what they needed. They needed a bit of intensity. It's looking good down the right-hand side. Again, Milinkovic-Savic linking well in the final third with the fullback, and of course Dusan Tadic, who's playing a real free role at the moment. Now he's just played a through ball into the channel. What can Serbia do? Lovely little cut back into the penalty area. Can they score? Chance. Mitrovic has just missed another one. Big chance coming across the goal there. Mitrovic swinging at it, but Serbia 60 minutes turned over and they started like, oh, let's fancy it now, lads, let's turn this on. Some really good play so far. Penalty area, Tadic, cut ball back, Milinkovic-Savic, curls it. Chance. Serbia are going to grab a goal very soon. It's looking good. A good ball in there from Tadic. I think that was the one where it actually crashed. No, it was good save. Flapped at it. Alisson having a surprisingly poor 30 seconds. Lovely football, though. Lovely football. Mitrovic is so frustrating. Matt Fair's saying that. I agree. The Germans were overconfident. They lost to South Korea. Lol. Hee. Back to the analysis. Again, the first goal coming from, a set piece. And the second one, Heung-min Son, goal of the tournament. Manuel Neuer loses the ball. Long ball up at Heung-min Son with their sneaky finish. Great goal time. But in terms of Germany, again, just a bit cutthroat. The problem wasn't about someone like Mesut Ozil today. It was more about, again, the lack of directness in the final third, the lack of taking people on. Again, Ozil created the most take-ons on the pitch, again, all around the halfway line. This is a big problem from Germany. They didn't provide support to their fullbacks. Every time that they broke high, for example, if we take a look at the crosses for someone like a Kimmich, he had no real support in the final third, and it was quite frustrating for to be someone that wanted Germany to win, to watch that. Nobody really combining with him in that final third. He's looking so isolated, and every time looking to have to swing in crosses from the right hand side. Again, only 2 completed out of 9. I expect a bit more from Joshua Kimmich in those wide areas, and that's kind of Germany's problem, that they've completed 2 crosses from fullback plus whatever Jonas Hector's completed. 0 exactly. That's the big thing there. Not enough width from their fullbacks from both sides, not enough quality in that area, but also not enough support. They really lacked that today, and again, it looked all right at the start. I thought Sami Khedira played really well, but again, big problem for Germany going forward is how they move this side on. I don't think Hummels has been good. Manuel Neuer has been okay, but maybe moving that side on with ter Stegen here. Big chance for Mitrovic again at the back post. Dominates Wagner, but headed straight at the goalkeeper. Guys, what is going on with Mitrovic? He's got to score 2. They missed Sane. Yeah, very good point there. Sane would have helped. The big thing with Timo Werner again, if we look at where he's receiving his passes, where he did so well in the last game was receiving it wide left. And again, not many passes wide left. A lot wide right, but not enough wide left. I thought he was really good wide left. And with Jonas Hector's lack of drive in the final third, Werner was doing that against Sweden and really made that impact. Again, the big connection there was how Kroos was finding him. But if you see where he's finding, only connecting with him 4 times in the game against Sweden, it was 9 times in the second half, all to the left wing, all isolating his fullback, and that was a big problem for him. It was so simple. Just seeing a substitution for Brazil, then mighty Paulinho comes off, so let's do a little bit of chat about Paulinho. He's had a pretty decent game, of course, grabbing that goal. Great movement from midfield. If you did miss that, we can give you a live replay of that goal right this second. So it was some decent move from Brazil, passing in midfield, and then Coutinho got it. He checked his run, ball over the top, and then Paulinho chipped the goalkeeper. Brilliant play from Coutinho. Has been absolutely fantastic in this tournament so far. Rest of his stats, again, retained the ball very well. In central midfield, he was rocking a 95% pass completion in the first half, ended up on 88, so a little bit slack in that second half, maybe that's why he's been brought off. Interesting stuff. The 1 dribble completed, 1 tackle, 1. Again, just a Paulinho performance, doing a lot off the ball, which is what you want to see. What Fernandinho's going to bring is a lot more control, I think, and that's where maybe Brazil want to go. They want a little bit more control towards the end of the game. That's what we want to see. Will he ever return the Statman Day Football Podcast? The Football Podcast has returned. It's on Patreon. The link is in the description below. Sign up to Patreon, and the Football Podcast there is usually released on Thursday. Over the World Cup, it's been very difficult to do the podcast, just because I've been doing so much content live on YouTube, and that's kind of the thing. Actually, Ash has just made a very good point. Nicholas Schuler, very good, and the only real performer for Germany, and yet he was. Germany, they want to build the next side. It needs to be all around the main man in the centre of the defence, because again, you saw how good he was. Physical, strong, really good on the ball. And something that was sort of highlighted on the BBC was his passing range. And how good it was. 96% of his passes completed. Look at the switches of play. Look at the passing between the lines. Someone that worked under Julian Nagelsmann and really improved his game. From a player that was regarded as a wonder kid that really struggled at Hamburg, I think, and then moving to Hoffenheim, I do believe, creating a chance as well. But also what I liked was his physicality. So physical. Ball recovering all over the place, centre of the park, but won some good tackles. The one in the penalty area, 2 interceptions and 2 blocks. Again, I just like him. I think he's a really good player. The blocks come in at really key times. It's 2-0. I've just missed a goal, guys. God damn it. Brazil 2, Serbia 0. Serbia look like they're going home, guys. I'm going to have to get a replay of that goal. I think it came from a corner. We'll have a look at it in a sec. The Brazil lads high-fiving, fist-bumping, doing all the good stuff. Too much talk about Nicolas Schuler. Not enough watching the game. God damn it. Comes from a corner. Yep, corner whipped in. Near post. Simple header. Brilliant goal from Thiago Silva. I think that is the second assist for Coutinho of the game. The game may be dead now. Oh my God. Brazil probably favourites for the World Cup. Will saying that. Maybe they are. They've looked all right. They've looked ugly. They've won ugly. Maybe that's a good trait of a side. You know, going to come into the tournament quite well. But again, a decent header that. You can't. Like the comments just said here. Comments popped up. A team like of Serbia's sides can't be conceding a goal from set piece. Max, you're completely correct. Not good enough. Absolutely poor from Serbia. FFS from Brad. Mitrovic has to get that goal. He does. He absolutely. There are two massive chances. He's got to score at least one of those. And it's just Mitro, not on fire at this World Cup, guys. Not on fire. Repeat, do not call the fire brigade. Mitro is not on fire. Thiago Silva, though, grabbing the goal for Brazil. And again, probably game, set, match. Got to see some big changes from the manager. Got to see some big moves for him to get back into this game. Because it's kind of like, sort of set in its own motion. Brad saying VAR foul, maybe it was. Those Mitrovic chances really being a turning point of the game. Johnny Fitzpatrick saying, yeah, completely agree with that. Kind of over. Nitro should have bagged maybe 2 goals, but didn't. But it's going to be Serbia. They need to turn it back on now. But Brazil have defended reasonably well, and bringing on someone like Fernandinho will look to sort of slow the game down, slow the play down. Statman Dave, Brazil by trade. Yeah, there's some Brazilians by trade on this pitch right now. Diego Costa as well as a Brazilian by trade. Neymar on the counter-attack, left wing, sizing up the full-back. Where can he go? Slowing himself down, ball at the edge of the area. Chance for Coutinho, stronger right foot. Can he get the shot away? Deflected, going out for another Brazilian corner. But it kind of looks like it's all done and dusted in this this group. But let's keep talking about football, guys. Let's keep waxing lyrical about all the great stuff in football. The goals, the assists, and again, we may preview the England game as well if you guys want me to do that in a sec. Feel sorry for Vuj, Christine. Yeah, Vuj, poor lad. Got a yellow card. The cheese has been delivered to one of the Serbian players from a corner. Again, just sad stuff. Brazil kind of killing the game there with that move, that motion. Again, Neymar grabbing the assist, and Neymar now 1 assist, 1 goal at the World Cup. Still 1 behind Coutinho in goals conceded. Dave, you absolute weapon. Yeah, cheers, Arthur. That was a bit weapony in terms of doing analysis and missing the goal. I apologise. Edge of the box, Luis Felipe. Shot on goal, saved by the keeper. Cleared. Pretty poor goalkeeping that. Don't let it distract you from the fact that Messi has the same amount of goals as Mitrovic in this World Cup. Yeah, that is some decent bants. Guys, keep getting into the comments. Spanish by trade. Hashtag Spanish by trade. Tweet me as well. Statman Dave, you got some more questions or you got some more stuff? Do that. Maybe we'll play some games as well. Who's going to complete the most passes in the last part of the game? Ball inside for Brazil. Fernandinho getting on the ball. Releasing Felipe Luis. Neymar in the wide position. Serbia look like their legs are gone really with that second goal. Felipe Luis in the penalty area. Cut back. Can Brazil get it? Nope. Defended by Serbia. Trying to play out. Losing the ball again. That's a foul. Absolute foul, but lovely stuff. If Serbia somehow go through, they have 3 players who will miss the next game. Can they even field a good squad there? Probably not. I see England beating this Brazil team. Very nice stuff there from Brad. Should we talk about England? As this game is probably teetering out. Get into the comments. Shall we talk about England? Thumbs up or thumbs down? That's what I want to see, guys. Get the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Who's been the player of the tournament so far? It's a very, very good question. I think the likes of Luka Modric. Got to give Modric a shout. He's been so good. Rakitic as well for Croatia. I think the likes of Harry Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo. You've got to give all the guys that are scoring the goals because that's how games are won and lost really. I'd like to see a little bit more from Colombia and James Rodriguez. Very good in the last game. Fantastic assist. So there's been some good performers. Got to give it to Luka Modric though. Team in the tournament, of course, Croatia. Simple as that. Unbeaten. Edge of the area, Neymar faking to shoot, looks to curl. That's a situation where you should just open up and have a go, Neymar. Brazil look hungry though, winning the ball high nicely. Let's maybe have a look at those stats, tackle stats. We want the tackle stats, that's what you guys are here for. Brazil have won a lot of ball in their opponent's half. Again, Thiago Silva coming high. They look like they've got their swagger back, Brazil. That second goal's really sort of freed them up. Moving it round nice and quickly. Say that as Willian pauses the play. So in terms of the tackles for Brazil, let's have a bit of a breakdown of the tackles for Brazil. So I think what I was talking about there in the first half and the second half, interesting tackle map. So 4 out of 4 in the second half, 8 out of 11 in the first half. So interesting stuff there. 73 minutes gone in the game. It looks like it's over. Looks like Brazil will be qualifying top of the group. Sleeping Uruguay, Dave. Yeah, 100%. Uruguay, they could be real dark horses, but we've got some thumbs up in the comments, guys. Keep liking the video as well, guys. Not only the thumbs up, let's talk about England now. They should set up against Belgium. Just jump back to the England game. The 6-1 win against Panama. What a performance that was. Here we have Brazil, though, just in the second half. I try and keep my eyes on both the analysis and the game so I don't miss any more goals, because that was flaming annoying. No reaction, no fun for Dave. But yeah, England, Panama, absolutely destroyed them. One of the best performances I've seen in my life, I think, for England. And I think they set up this system that they've been playing looks very, very good in both an attacking sense and a defensive sense. It looks like they've got a lot right. I'm just trying to line this up perfectly. Oh, no, then this one maybe. Yeah, that'll do. Lovely biscuits. So England, in terms of their setup, the 3-5-2. What I like about this 3-5-2 is that it gives England both a good platform to build out of the back. I think a lot of the big teams have struggled playing 4-man defences and building with 2 instead of 3. I think the big thing doesn't come in an attacking sense, but it comes in that defensive situation. You know, you're thinking when you've lost the ball, teams break on you with a 3. And that's a big issue. We've seen Germany struggle with it. We've seen Spain struggle with it. We've seen a lot of teams struggle with that system. And again, with 3, you've got guys that can defend the wide area. You've got that extra bank, and again, you're defending with a 1 and a 3. Something that, again, you know, Pep Guardiola builds his philosophy off defensively. It's defending with 3 narrow, 1 in front if you get into that tactical situation, if anyone's at your back 4. So England naturally have that. They also got the wing backs that can drop back to the back 5. I think the tactical development of this side has been very good. Also the movement of Jess Lingard, Sterling Kane, good combo. I think you can mix up those forwards with Vardy and of course Rashford, and you've got that balance. Really good balance in this England squad. Croatia, ball into the box, easily defended by Brazil, just to give you a little bit of an update there. I think in terms of the key guys, of course, for England, one of them being Kieran Trippier, had a fantastic tournament so far. And he looks for really good passes in a way. You know, a lot of his passes. So I remember him playing for Burnley and having one of the worst pass accuracies in the Premier League. It's like 67%. But every single time he got the ball, he looked for the channels. Again, Burnley played a traditional 4-4-2. They looked to hit their big strikers up front, and they looked to sort of combine. Who we have, though, may have a chance for Serbia, now defended by Thiago Silva. Zivkovic doing a bit of dancing on the right wing. Zivkovic has just come on for Serbia. Hopefully he can bring some energy there. But in terms of Trippier, very direct in this World Cup so far, created the most chances for England. One of the top chances created in the World Cup. But I like his direct play and his direct passing in the final third. Very, very direct, looking to get Kane in, or Ali in, or Lingard in, and so forth. And again, he's doing the big things. He's getting assists. Again, important from set plays. Kieran Trippier has been very, very important in terms of his delivery. You know, think of the balls he's put in so far, fantastic sort of crossing. I really like this set piece. The big thing England have is that ability to create things with set pieces and so forth. They're good at moving teams around. In the first game they used Harry Maguire as a target. Then the first set piece that they scored from here, they basically faked with Harry Maguire. They went to shape to play it to Harry Maguire. The Panama defenders moved to Harry Maguire. Space opens up, John Stones score. But all about Kieran Trippier's crossing and getting into that final third. Other key players, of course, Harry Kane. Not yet into the situation where he's scoring good goals, should we say. You know, 2 goals that he scored in the first game, 2 headers from set pieces, the penalties here, and then deflected effort. But getting into the right areas and just doing the right thing. Again, doing your classic Harry Kane play, you know, playing the through balls, holding up the ball, and I like it. I really like it from Harry Kane. He's had a really good performance so far. But I think the key guy for England is Jess Lingard. Not only is his movement off the ball, but his link-up play, that goal that he scored, what a goal that was. And if Jess Lingard can be the guy that's running the sort of route that I would love to see a player to run, either a centre forward or a midfielder, Jess Lingard needs to make the run in between Vertonghen and, of course, Carrasco. That's where the real weakness is. And if Jess Lingard can get in there, we know he can finish. But not only that, very, very good on the ball in this tournament, 31 out of 33 passes. And again, you know, making the moves at the right area. But let's go to the Belgium lineup so we can talk about that in a little bit more detail and how that works together. Again, the game is pretty much coming to a close here. The lineups again with Belgium. Let's get that nice and let's move that up. Then move this down. That's probably good. Yeah, perfect. So, in terms of the problems for this Belgium team, it is the Carrasco-Vertonghen side. And that's where I want to see movement from England, is getting in behind Carrasco and running that angle out, so pulling Vertonghen wide. Carrasco's positioning is very poor, mentioned this before, steps up too quickly, which consequently means Vertonghen needs to come out, consequently messes up the defence. If you can get into that situation where you played him behind, then you cut back. And I think England will be on that, because what Pochettino does at Tottenham, what Pochettino has done, what has developed with the likes of Trippier, developed with Rose, developed with all these players, is those cutbacks, and Dele Alli is going to be crucial. Dele Alli's fit, really, really important for England, but I go with Vardy as well. Vardy very, very good at running the channels, or Marcus Rashford, also a player that's very good in those wide areas. But England versus Belgium is going to be a big one. Apparently Lukaku is injured. Of course, De Bruyne is going to be a guy that England are going to have to deal with. Again, really growing into the tournament. Created 5 chances in this game. That was the most of any player on the pitch. But you kind of catch him out. Again, positionally, what happens in that midfield is De Bruyne does advance and Witsel does hold. So it does look like, sometimes looks like a DM and an attacking mid. So again, there's a lot of space that England could exploit with their 3-man midfield. Could be a bad game, though, with 3-man defences. Mitrovic on the spin again. Oh, it was Matic on the spin in the penalty area. He just looks like a big lad in the box, smashing the ball over the bar. But the big thing here, Kevin De Bruyne could be exploited on the counter-attack, and that could be massive for England. But that was a little bit of a preview for the game. My score is going to be 2-2. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think it will go down to disciplinary points, and England will lose that disciplinary points, hopefully with Phil Jones sending off, as I mentioned before. Coutinho just leaving the pitch, so let's have a look at what he's done in the game, because he's been my man of the match by a country mile. Replaced by Renato Augusto, ex by Leverkusen. More of a workman-like midfielder again. Tite's just seeing this game out now. Pretty good coaching, to be quite honest. Pretty good management. But again, the key moment of the game was all about the main man, Philippe Coutinho, finding that pass for Paulinho's run. Really sort of chilling the Brazilians out in a way. And Coutinho dominated that first half, spread the play well, controlled it in the right areas. And again, I think the zones he was picking the ball up was nice. Something that I mentioned pre-stream, Neymar and Coutinho, they need to sort where they're receiving the ball and so forth out to make it sort of, positive. You see a lot of ball in the wide areas received it, a lot of ball at 10, picking up the ball in good areas, and that's what I wanted to see from Coutinho and Neymar, is having that freedom to move around each other. Neymar not had the greatest game I've ever seen, but Coutinho really rocking, and again, been Brazil's best player at the tournament. The first player since Pele at his first World Cup to be directly involved in a goal per game he's played so far. But guys, keep getting into the comments. Renato Augusto, WTF, give Fred a chance. I think Fred might slightly be injured, but, maybe not. Surprise player of the tournament so far, Dave. I've quite like Rebic. I've really enjoyed Tubo, the Nigerian central midfielder. I think he's completed something like 14 out of his 16 dribbles at 88% completion rate, which is the best of any player to attempt over 10 dribbles. I like him. I like his ability to win the ball back, his ability to carry, and he looks like a great signing. In the Championship, he's going to dominate for Stoke. It's going to be, I think Stoke are coming straight back up, to be quite honest. Again, they bought Benakophobia as well. A weird transfer, moved to Wolves and then moved back. Literally moved like the next week later to Stoke. Is that right? That was the right way, wasn't it? Yeah. So, interesting. Yeah, it could be interesting. Lingard is so intelligent. Lukaku is out of the game. Yeah, he is. Silva is 33, but still performing great. He is. The weird thing about Thiago Silva was, at the last World Cup, he was arguably one of Brazil's best players, and apparently he missed the game against Germany with like a sort of stress condition or something, where mentally just didn't feel ready for it. Really interesting. Krstajić going off for Serbia. Oncoming, number 18, Radovic. But anyway, guys, back to the comments. I'd love to see Fred a bit more, guys. Fred would be exciting to see, playing for Brazil. But, Tite doesn't like him. He's going to be great at United next season. Fantastic. Such a high-octane player. So good on the ball as well. Comfortable both sides. It's weird. Sometimes he controls it with he's left-footed, but a lot of the time he controls it with his right, then moves it to his left. Just a very nice footballer. Usually what you expect is someone to control it on the right, and like that ball there, ball over the top to Willian, breaking down the right wing. Can he cut the ball back? Ball across the box, volley in. Neymar just over the bar. Good play from Brazil though. Nice play from central midfield. Clip ball over the top. Right foot touch over the top. Great touch from William. Getting a little bit of a replay of that. Second touch out of his feet. Low cross into the penalty area. Deflected on the half volley. Neymar crashing it in. Do you see the Belanda goal yesterday? Lovely goal that was. Arriving late for Croatia, and again drilled it into the sort of floor, and it rebounded in. A great goal there. Dave is the GOAT. Thanks, guys. Guy, keep liking the stream and so forth. Got 8 minutes of the game left. So yeah, Thiago Silva missed the game due to suspension, accumulation of yellow cards. Was it? I swear it was some sort of... I don't think it was a discipline thing. Maybe it was. I apologise, guys. Best performing team going out of the World Cup in the group stage has to be Morocco. Yeah, Morocco were good. Just slightly not cutthroat in the final third. That was the only thing I thought they lacked. Same with Iran. I really enjoyed watching Iran, but didn't have that cutting edge. But again, Coutinho's stats for the game: completed 2 dribbles, 1 assist, 3 chances created, completed 15 out of his 19 passes in the final third. Coutinho, MVP so far. Serbia have got a lot to do though. 7 minutes to rescue their World Cup dreams and hopes. But for me, Brazil look comfortable now. Willian was a bit of a dodgy touch. Has it gone out? Yeah, it's gone out. Serbia winning a throw-in in, of course, the Brazilian half. That's nice. That's a nice stat there. The Costa Rica goal means that all 32 teams in the World Cup have scored at least 1 goal. VAR has saved the day. Who's better overall player, Casemiro or Fred? I'd say Casemiro's further down his line in development. Fred could be a really, really top player though. Very different players. Casemiro more about winning the ball, shuttling over, defending the fullbacks. Fred is more of a ball winner, high up the pitch, high octane. That's why I think he's going to be so good next to Pogba, because he puts the squeeze on so well. You know, playing at Shakhtar, that's one of the big things, is that they press really, really well in their 4-2-3-1. They press well, and Fred's very much the guy that usually instigates that. The game we're watching at the moment, he's putting a lot of good pressure on Kevin Strootman in, of course, the Champions League when Roma played Shakhtar, and Fred scored an absolute banger of a free kick with his left peg. Banger. Team of the group stage. Yeah, let's go for that. We'll put a team of the group stage together, Marty. Post it in, and I'll go through and see if it's any good. No pressure. I'll give you 2 minutes. 86th minute, we'll go through that. Team of the group stage so far. Get into the comments. Your team group stage has got to see the likes of Lukaku. Ronaldo's got to be in there. Then they've got a bit of Toni Kroos. Even though they got knocked out, I'd throw Toni Kroos in there, 100%, guys. But keep getting comments in. All the good stuff. We're just sort of labouring through this last game of the group stages. Thanks for being with me, sticking with me through the entire group stages of the World Cup. It's been enjoyable. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more, a bit more fun in the knockout stage, because that's when the tournament starts kicking off. Really, these group stages usually expect the good teams to go through. We've not seen that with Germany. The elephant in the room, out they fall for the World Cup. Team of the group stage, Croatia. Yeah, I'd give you that. The whole Croatian team. Who's a better ball player, Casemiro or Fred? Fred, better ball player, Fred. Casemiro, very good on the ball, but Fred, more of a controller, more of a guy that can get on the ball deep. Really interesting. The first game I watched, he played a little bit more on the 8 line, like with a 6 and an 8, so sort of the 2 centre halves, 6 and then the 8 a little bit higher. This time he's playing as a little bit more of a 6. Neymar into the penalty area, carrying the ball again, just running into traffic. It's what Neymar does these days. He just carries the ball too much. And again, he could have played the ball a lot quicker than that. But he's through here. Keeper comes out. Decent save. At least he's getting behind. Brad, England is what he says. I'm just reading out how you've written it because you've capitalised it. But yeah, England, team of the group stage. We're actually going to make a team of the group stage with each of the players. So we're not going to be doing like the team as in one team. We're going to do X, Y, Z into the team, and then we'll read the team out very, very shortly. Have we got that ready yet? Are we ready to rumble? Not yet. Keep them coming in. Keep them coming in, guys. Serbia, though, all to do. 4 minutes to go left in the last game of their World Cup campaign. If it stays the same, of course, Switzerland will be joining Brazil in the round of 16. It'll be quite interesting after the round of 16. If there will be Sweden versus Switzerland, Brazil versus Mexico. I expect Brazil to win their tie, and they'll be placing England if they get through there. So Brazil, England in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. We're going back to the days of David Seaman versus Ronaldinho. That Brazil team was so good. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. Absolutely sick. Serbia though in the penalty area. Mitrovic shot blocked. Lovely stuff there. Brazil again looking dangerous on the counter here, breaking out. Foul 1. Yep, simple. Cool. Right, I think we've got our team ready. Don't this team tactically work? That could tactically work. Right, so we're going to go with a 4-4-2. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to go... can't play a 4-3-3 because we've got 2 centre forwards there, mate. Don't work. We've got to move it round. But don't worry, I've got an idea. I've got some ideas. So we're going to go Schmeichel in goal. Maybe. What about Ochoa? Ochoa? Schmeichel, vote in the comments. Ochoa or Schmeichel, you guys decide the team of the tournament. The back four, Vaselko, Godin, Stones, Marcelo. I'd probably, if Jose Jimenez didn't get injured, I'd say Jose Jimenez. Stones has been good. I've enjoyed Kyle Walker as well at centre half, but that's what we're going to go with. Vaselko, Godin, Stones and Marcelo. Marcelo? There's got to be a better left back than that that's coming to the tournament. No? Who's been decent at left fullback? Stones 2 goals from centre half, of course. Into midfield, we're going to go for Kroos, Modric and Golovin, and Ronaldo on the left wing, Golovin probably on the right wing, and then at front two of Kane and Lukaku. There's been no good left back performances in the World Cup, which is why we've gone from Marcelo and his 96 passes that he completed in his last game against Costa Rica. Serbia, though, not long left. 2 minutes to go. Well, guys, keep getting into the comments. Your teams of the tournament. Ochoa, Alisson. Let's go with Ochoa. The South Korean goalkeeper was fantastic today. He was poor, 100% there. Let's go with Ochoa. Godin, Jimenez. Yeah, those two were so good in the first 2 games, weren't they? They played really, really well. Kieran Trippier. That's a good shout. Kieran Trippier could be in there, but Vaselko, I'd say Vaselko's done well now. We're just getting another replay of the Costa Rican second goal. Switzerland second goal. Sorry, I was getting the colours wrong there. I thought that was Costa Rica about to bag, but Switzerland 2-1 up now, guys. Game set match over there. So it's both games are over. The standings, Brazil do stay top. A better goal difference. Switzerland in second position. But that's pretty much it. For Serbia and Costa Rica. Bowing out of the World Cup, guys. Keep getting into the comments. Your teams of the tournament. Switzerland just scored again. Goal, goddamn time. The party has definitely started. Godin and Jose Jimenez together. Lorenzo, yep, I completely agree there. Maybe we'll change it up and do that type of thing. Because, we can do those types of things. It's a free market. We're a democracy here on the Statman Dave Lives. It's not an autocratic dictatorship like it could be. Torreira and Henderson. Henderson is a shout for centre midfield, actually. As a DM, a true DM, he's played really, really well. Really enjoyed Rakitic as well. Playing that position in the first game. Obviously not in the second, but the first game did really well as well. Brozovic coming in, did a good job against Argentina. We've got Nemanja Matic left wing, went for a back heel. Brazil nicked the ball, massively open for the counter here. Little flick inside, bit of Brazilian flair. Neymar pulling to the left wing. Casemiro, though, holding on to the ball and draw. No, Serbia win the ball back. And again, another counter-attacking opportunity. Zivkovic running forward, ball outside wide, offering himself up for the ball back, cutting in. Little flick on the outside, Zivkovic wide, looks for the low block, decent defending from Felipe Luis, something I reckon you'll get over Marcelo's that natural sort of graft and defensive capabilities. He's just hungry, isn't he, Felipe Luis? He's almost like a bulldog, bites your ankles. Defensive header there by Brazil, and again, recycled by Serbia. Harry Maguire, that's a good shout. Very, very good shout. Uruguay versus Portugal is going to be a ball fest. Nacho into the side because of that screamer. maybe. There's no good right backs out there. Yeah, that's the problem. Sorry, left backs out there. And Brazil on the counter attack. And a terrible pass. They just hit a pass. Gabriel Jesus behind one of the unrushing Brazilian attackers, maybe Renato Augusto. Willian does recover the ball on the right wing. Again, this game's not been the greatest in the world. Thanks for sticking with the stream throughout. It's been, just a bit of fun. Flops of the group stages. De Gea in goal, maybe. Yeah, 6 shots faced, 5 goals conceded, 1 save. Just feel a bit sorry for David De Gea. There's too many, those opportunities that he was, the penalty, for example, the free kick, the 1-on-1. 9 times out of 10, that keeper ain't saving that. Zivkovic cutting in, shot on goal, decent. Would have been good to see him from the start. Really good would have been seen to see him from the start. Benfica was a good shout as well, James. Benfica played well in all the sort of games. At the tip of a diamond in the last one. Just getting a replay of the Neymar chance. Big hand from the keeper, slaps it down. Penalty to Costa Rica. Dr. Trolley in the comments. What's going to happen here? Penalty. Going to be a goal. We are currently in the 92nd minute of the game. We're getting a bit of a load here, so I can't give you exactly what's happened there. Again, Dermich scoring the second goal for Switzerland to pretty much kill the game. Penalty kick on the live scores. We don't have it live, but we'll be looking at the little screen to see what comes through here. Again, Brazil sitting back, relaxing, knowing that they're through to play Mexico in the last 16 of the World Cup. With a lot of the confirmation of a lot of the games. Again, the first games we have Uruguay, Portugal, France, Argentina, Spain, Russia, Croatia, Denmark, Brazil versus Mexico, Sweden versus Switzerland. The only 2 groups we've got left, of course, Group G and Group H. Again, England's group and, of course, the Colombian group. So that'll be finished tomorrow. The World Cup will be done, finished, over. See you later, World Cup. There we have, though, Brazil in between the lines. What can they do? Can they kill the game, or are they going to come back on themselves? Again, Neymar receiving. Through ball in. Step over, back to Neymar. Can he finish? Round the keeper. Decent save from the keeper. Nearly got round him, but a sliding save from the goalkeeper. 93rd minute. Neymar still wanting more. Dodgy headband this Serbian keeper's been wearing. Not seen that. Don't know what he's doing. Willian, right-hand side to Neymar. What's he going to do? Get into the box, lads. Nah, they're won it back. This is pretty much game, set, match. The Costa Rican penalty was scored. Brian Ruiz, 2-2 in that game. Again, not really changing what's happening in the group. Just pushing, Brazil to first place, definitely. And that's that, guys. The game is over. Brazil 2, Serbia 0. Let's go for a quick little man of the match shout. I'm going to go with the main man, Philip Coutinho, or Coutinho, as they call him, over in Brazil. Pretty much the only guy that really performed today consistently. I like Paulinho's movement from midfield as well. Was very, very good. But that's about that, guys. We're going to go through the quick little chat about the stats at the start. Coutinho, decent game. 2 shots on goal. Of course, the 50 out of the 55 passes completed, a 91% pass completion, creating 3 chances, 1 assist. Great performance from Philip Coutinho. But guys, that's going to be that for today. We'll be back on Saturday for the live stream for the Argentina versus France game. That is going to be a corker. Stay tuned for that. I've been Statman Dave. See you guys later.